Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me a lot, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah, about time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward, the battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it? It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish Lucius. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling their soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a slice, extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame, ever blinking the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds, think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake, come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do, come vibe with the blue. Yeah, vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Earth's mightiest. This is how we doing this week. He not getting to do an intro because, ladies and gentlemen, if you could not tell, the gentleman to my the person I also do the show with, the person who felt the need to set comic Twitter on fire with the smartest person in Marvel. The gentleman who felt the need to set the entire Discord ablaze with who he thinks is the smartest in Marvel. And while everything was smoldering, take a cruise real quick. The Blerd Without Fear is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back. Well, I say welcome back as if I'm the motherfucker that was still here. It's good to be back. On this episode 197 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse.
No, you see how he tried? No, fuck that. Do you see how he tried to just mosey on past that he thinks Thanos is the smartest person in Marvel? Like it didn't happen.
He is.
He real deal set the house on fire, hopped on a boat, came back, saw the robot, and said, "Damn, what happened?"
Well, I mean, I stand by my statement. Because he is smart. His intelligence is not the same as a human's. To quote Dr. Manhattan, the world's smartest man poses as much of a threat to him as the world's smartest ant. Reed and Bruce are smart by human standards. And even if I take Thanos out the equation, that still leaves Moon Girl as the smartest human. Hey, I did my research. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it wasn't about who my favorite smart person was. Thanos isn't even my favorite character.
Oh, I'm not hating. Trust me, I'm not hating at who he picked because just the title let me know, oh, this finna be funny. This finna be funny. This finna be just as bad as my tweet that went off about the quote that Cyclops made and how many fucking Avengers
stands.
Dog. The amount of comments lighting you up for Thanos is just as much as the Avengers stand account, Tony Stark stand account, Cyclops was wrong stand account, the fucking Brood stand account. Dog, the smartest person in Marvel, and you pick the brother from the Spike Lee remake of Old Boy. You pick Cable in a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie.
Premium cable, too. Premium cable.
No Country for Old Men. He couldn't even make it to the end of the movie. That's who you picked.
The boy that hey, the boy that got tied to the love seat in the Goonies. That's right. He the smartest. I said it. I synced it. But no, no, man, it's a regular intro. I'm hopping off. You have 10 minutes to comply. Oh, damn. I just got Ed 209. But no, I will say, to get y'all, to get everybody into the normal mode of things. What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. We got the homie Carter Presents with me. And I am not sorry for what I did. Yeah, the funny thing is I actually expected to catch more ire for the problematic comics video. I actually expected more ire from that than I did the top 10 smartest.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that two different videos that would start some shit were uploaded and made live while you gone.
Well,
I thought that shit, when I saw Black Frank Castle, and I knew good and hell well you was sipping mimosas on a boat somewhere, I died. I said, he does this shit when he across the street and around the corner.
Well, the sad part too was I could tell you precisely where I was when one of them came out. I was in Cozumel. At Mr. Sancho's with my feet up on a little floaty out in the ocean.
Oh, okay.
I had my feet up. I was on a little floaty out in the ocean with a drink in my hand. And the tide just bustling me around all over the place. I didn't know where the hell I was going.
Okay, I'm happy you finished that comment. I'm happy you finished that general statement. Because when you just started like your feet was up, I like, please don't tell me your wife had your legs in the air. I'm finna leave right now. Oh my God. My God, I'm finna die. I don't need to know that that's what was going on when folks was watching the Blerd Without Fear intro video.
No, God. Oh God, no, not at all.
Yeah.
But no, I literally was away. I just did not care. I was like, and the funny thing was, I now get how movie studio execs and like TV studio execs feel. Like there was like, oh yeah, we're so proud of this project we have coming out. Everybody was just really into it, and we can't wait for the audience to see it, and then to put it out and to be like some very divisive shit that just has the entire internet ablaze against them.
Yeah.
I now know what that feels like. Because I was proud of that shit. I was like, oh, yeah, man. I sat down. I did my research. I read all these comics and, like, you went and, like, you fact-checked and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I did the due diligence. And then, I didn't even, when I saw the discourse, I was like, I don't care. But by the way, just so we don't forget, for those of you who are not watching this live, for those of you who are going to be catching the VOD, or you are listening to this on Spotify, which, by the way, we have been getting some reviews on Spotify, 5 stars, 5-star reviews. So let's see if we can get some more, because that's actually been helping extend our reach and also expand Earth's mightiest listeners. So if you haven't done so already, if you're listening to us on Spotify. Also, you can listen to us on Google, iHeartRadio, Apple, anywhere, really. Make sure you leave a rating, especially on Apple and Spotify. I don't know if you can even leave ratings on Google. I'm sure you can. But wherever you listen, please leave a rating. It really helps us out, helps us find more listeners like yourself, because it has been growing. I've been noticing that more and more people are listening, so it's always a good thing. They are probably just aghast right now at the show right now by this point, just because they're like, what the fuck is going on?
You did those videos and you did that Skeletor gif of that man just striking out and running off somewhere.
Which is funny, I totally had a Skeletor shirt on the other day.
Yes, you did. I did see that. I didn't know you knew Gaijin. Yeah. The person behind that. Because I just randomly saw some of their merch. Somebody retweeted it on Twitter someday. And I'm like, damn, they're based out of Memphis. Let me check them out here.
Yeah.
But so seeing that video, I'm like, damn, we're gonna have to have a conversation about some free merch. And Hideo saying, Carter, you better prepare to catch a straight next time you go to your local comic book store for those 2 videos. Do you know that when those 2 videos went live, I made it a thing not to go nowhere?
This man said, no, I ain't going. No, y'all ain't about to get me.
I real deal went work, home, comic shop on the way.
That man said, no.
It's the light before.
Bruh.
Nope.
That man said, you ain't about to get me.
I saw the Taco Bell got PTSD. Said, nope, not me. I rebuked thee, Jesus, and kept on driving. I'm not even Christian. Like, so.
Man said, in Jesus' name. Let's before we get into before we get into our stuff, because just for those who don't know, we are going to be talking about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Mephisto in the MCU, Hellfire Gala 2023. We'll also be talking about the return of the Unity Squad, as well as we'll be talking about Dawn of DC and much more. And of course, we'll be answering your questions and giving our recommended reads or watches or plays in some cases for the week. Let's go. We got some super chats that I want to hit real quick before we go into everything. Come back, baby, come back. Anyway, we got Go Consure's baby's father with a $5 super chat. That hot and ready out here. Actually, wait, that's $6 now, right? I don't know. I'm old. Anyway, writers back then thought just because you got a black mother figure, you can go around and use the N-word. LOL. Nah, fam. Well, here's the thing. I just want to put this out here, and this is a conversation that I'm glad I never had to have more than once with my stepchild. Don't ever go out there thinking because I'm your pappy that you got to pass. Because if I find out, I'm going to put my foot in your ass. You ain't even got to worry. You ain't even got to worry about no black folks chasing you. I get you.
Damn.
And if they catch up to you, it's going to be like a lumberjack match out here. But no, in all seriousness.
You're going to get canceled for that. You're going to get canceled for that. LGBT people going to come after you for that.
No.
But I thought you were going somewhere completely different. I didn't know you yourself was going to put hands on the children. I thought you was going to say something more so along the lines of, if you say it, I'm going to pick you up off the ground.
Oh, no.
I'm going to watch you get slammed, but I'm going to pick you up off the ground.
Oh, no. God, no.
He said, I'm going to be right there stomping him with you.
Look, doing the A-Town stomp. Just right there. Just... But no, we also got the Hobie X-Ray with the 30 months. Says, I dug the top 10 smartest and controversial. See? And here's the thing. I want to put this out here. Now, I'm going to do a top 10 smartest for DC. And depending, because this is where things get a little more nebulous, I may do a top, depending on how that does, I might do another top 10 on the smartest characters not from Marvel or DC. Maybe even an overall, depending on how things go. Just depends. Because that video took a lot of time. Y'all have no idea. That was not like when a new X-Men comic came out. Mm-hmm. And Blerd's already got a video out for it the next day. No, that video was done over the course of a couple of months.
Oh wow!
That includes me doing all the reading. That includes me sourcing images. That includes me recording and editing everything. That was it was a lot. I even had to go back and reshoot some stuff before it was all done.
By the way,
What was that?
By the way, have you tested out any of the editors yet?
Yes. So you have actually, okay, so by now, some of you have actually already seen a video from one of my editors.
Okay.
And that was the static video.
Okay.
And there's another one that I haven't put out yet for Black Panther number 15, which I passed off to another editor. Different than the one that did the static video, and I'm still waiting. They're putting the final edits on that one. Me being out of town and them being from another country, and there being a dramatic time zone difference, because I think they're in Australia versus me being here, so there's a dramatic time zone difference, and they are and I was also without internet for a while, so by the time that everything was going on, just kind of which I understood. Nothing against them or anything. So that video probably either I'm hoping sometime tomorrow that video will be up. Okay. And don't hate me because I say some things in that video some people probably will not like.
Oh no, some of them will probably ask me about it, and then they'll respond a certain way, and then they'll ask you about it, and then their response is going to be like multiplied times 10. Let me, you know what? Allow me to be petty for a second.
Go ahead. Go off, man.
So there was a situation in your Discord where somebody asked me, because I'm not gonna say the Elite X1's name. I'm not gonna say his name, but he asked me, "Who do you think will win, Bruce Wayne or Midnighter?"
Oh, yeah.
To which I respond, "Man, that's easy. Like Bruce Wayne would get washed. What are we talking about here?" To which you, and it's like, "Oh man, Carter, you right. That's crazy. Like, yeah, you probably right, man. Bruce Wayne would probably get whooped." And then Blerd Without Fear makes his triumphant return to the Discord, and then he puts his response in there. And just like Carter got the, "Oh yeah, Carter, you right. Bruce Wayne and Batman will probably get beat up." Blerd Without Fear. Blerd Without Fear. That motherfuckers.
Well, no.
Blerd Without Fear. This is why I'm subscribed to Blerd Without. This is why I'm subscribed to Blerd Without Fear. He know it. He is the crux of the Blerd Cave. That boy got it. That boy's good. That boy's good.
Well, no. Well, no, the funny thing was, I don't remember exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just parroting what you said. Because I was really agreeing. I was agreeing.
Mm-hmm.
I was agreeing because I think, and I'm not naming names or anything. I think sometimes people think that just by default I am inclined to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, it's true that if you put Midnighter and Bruce Wayne in the same room, same time, and say fight, 99.999999999% of the time, Midnighter is gonna get that ass.
And you and I both.
I'm being generous. I'm actually being very generous to Batman by saying 99.999, because really it's 100. It's 100. Midnighter would beat the sweet tea out of Batman.
Oh no. And
7
that
days
was
a
the
week.
part that was what got me. Because I'm like, we said the same thing. But Carter just got, "Yeah, Carter, you right. Blerd Without Fear. Why didn't I? This is why I'm subscribed to Blerd Without Fear. This is why I give super chat. Oh my God. He flat out said Midnighter would beat shit out of Bruce Wayne. That's what Carter said, but it's Blerd Without Fear this time who said it. So that's how you know it got the stamp of approval.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you what it was. I think I know what it was, though. I know what it was. It was because I also said that Joker would have a better chance of beating Midnighter than Batman would.
Nope. They got giddy way before that Joker part came out. They got giddy way before, and I'm just like, damn. See, this is why I tell y'all. Because and then I'm gonna be done with it. This it made me laugh. But this is why I tell y'all. Anytime there's a conversation about the Blerd Without Fear, Comics Explained, New Sage, Dope Spill, everybody should just be on the Blerd Cave at one time. And then several of y'all asses go, "Carter, you got to be on there too, man. You a part of this." No. I'm not. What you mean, Carter? Like, you guys, let me say something. That right there, that let me know how Carter could get a regular ass, yup, you right, but the Blerd Without, oh my God, bro, Blerd Without Fear is fucking awesome, bro. I love it. That guy's good.
I mean,
that guy is good, bro. He good. He's so smart. He said the same thing the other niggas said. That boy's smart. He's smart.
Oh, well,
I'm done. I'll behave.
will say, it feels good to be back, and what better way to come back than to come back to a 1999 super chat. Thank
we were
you.
having fun. We were having fun.
Thank you, Gabriel the Dark Knight says, welcome back, Ernie and Carter. Saturday was not the same without the cave.
Hey, thank you.
You know
Thank
what?
you. I'm somewhat appreciated. Thank you.
Look, see, there you go. There you go. We got LP3 also with $10 super chat says, happy Saturday, fellas. Just wanted to know what y'all thought about the Christopher Priest new Superman series. I think, didn't the first issue of that come out? Superman Lost?
Yes, it did. I didn't understand it at first.
I've not gotten a chance to read it yet. I think we talked about it back during the like it was a while back. We were talking about DC solicits, and it came up because that was the one where Superman had the white suit. We were making the jokes about the Clan Superman, about the Super Clan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't read it yet. It's on my stack of things to read. Because no lie, I had no internet when I was on the boat. So when Tuesday, Wednesday came around, I couldn't get on Comixology for shit. And I honestly didn't get internet back until Thursday morning-ish, like almost afternoon. And most of that time was spent driving. Because about a quarter, halfway into the trip back home, because we drove to, I guess, yeah, I can tell the story now. We drove to New Orleans and took a Carnival cruise out of the States into Mexico. So when we came back, we had to leave from New Orleans and come back to Memphis, which is about roughly a 5-hour drive. But my wife, she was cramping really bad. She was having some issues. Just couldn't sit there and just focus on driving. So I took over, drove the rest of the way. So I didn't really get to, get on and just read like I initially wanted to. But I will say this, funny story. Funny is a postscript to that. I have never upset anyone from the TSA or anyone who is a TSA equivalent for boats as much in my entire life. That was the quickest I have ever gotten out of a travel situation. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. I wonder, and I'm going to put this out here, I don't know if one of you Earth's Mightiest subscribers happens to work at the port of New Orleans. If you do, I thank you profusely, because we had a brother just walk up to us, seeing me, my wife, my mother, both of my children, carrying our bags, trying to get out of this port. There's a long line, and this brother just walks and says, hey, y'all need some help with your bags. And we were just like, sure. At first, I was kind of like, nah. But then my mom was like, no, we doing this. And I was like, and then my wife was like, yeah, we definitely doing this. And I was like, okay, cool. I've been outvoted. But we, this guy, this gentleman, I don't misremember. I think his name was Mervin or Melvin, something like that. If you are one of Earth's Mightiest subscribers or listeners, I thank you profusely. But this brother got us through all of the checks and balances, all the lines. Let me tell you something. There was several old-ass ladies looking for help with their bags. They got completely overlooked. Basically, you know how you got line jumpers?
Yeah.
You got the passes where you could just skip the line. It was basically having the equivalent of that before a boat port to get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
And I mean, dude, he was beelining us through shit. He was like, yeah, come on. He's like, come on, let's go. And he was even pissing off his coworkers. And like I said, I don't know if, once again, I don't know if he is one of us. If he is a part of Blerd Coa.
Melvin said there's another Melvin.
He's like, wait a minute. But hey, if you are out there somewhere, we greatly appreciate it, because we would have been at the port of New Orleans for another hour, possibly. Wow. He turned that shit into a 5-minute run. And he helped pack our shit in the car, which we had to kind of undo because we realized we had too much shit. We came back. So we ended up just leaving a suitcase at the garage of the Port of New Orleans. I apologize, but it was empty. Don't worry about it. Don't send it back to us. It's broken anyway. But yeah, no. Like, man said moving through like Beyonce and Jay. Move, peasants. Let's see. Got that rich white family treatment, bruh. Right? But no, it was awesome though. It was an awesome trip, awesome, great. I will be reading Superman Lost. I'll be able to give you a better idea of what I think about it very soon. Okay. I might even do a video about it, depending on how I feel. I'm kind of in a coming back was just kind of wild. So
I will say you'll probably have to give it a second read just to kind of understand what just occurred.
Okay, now I don't know. This is something I don't know about the comic, and you can tell me this. It won't spoil anything for me, I imagine.
Okay.
Is it canon? Is it like considered an Elseworlds?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. Now, everything Priest has done right now with these little 12-issue minis, they seem like they're all, the Melvin core sounds nasty. But everything he's done, it seems like they're all canon. So maybe this was just some shit that happened like before. Yeah, maybe it happened before Big Time John came in the scene.
Oh yeah, because he.
But yeah, it's just very, very strange when you get to like the crux of it. You're just like, wait, what? Huh?
Okay. I'll you know what? That makes me even more interested to read it then, because I'm not gonna lie, Christopher Priest gets wild. He gets really wild. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't always work.
Blackout.
I like Black Adam. But I was gonna say Black Panther. But
you just saved me from reading a run. I think I got that run on Comixology. Yeah. You just saved me from reading some
let me put it like this. I don't hate it, but it definitely introduces some elements that I'm glad have been changed.
Did he do the Secret Invasion issue? Was that Priest?
No, that was Ryan North, I think.
Gotcha.
Which I like. I've been liking. Did they put out the final issue for that? I think the final issue did. Okay, I need to read that too. That's also on my list of stuff I need to read.
Yes.
I will say this. I did find it funny, like just some of the things that Christopher Priest introduced to Black Panther. Some of them are great, like the Dora Milaje. That's great, but I don't like the way they were introduced. I'm glad that's been cleaned up since then. Things like the White Wolf. You wouldn't have the White Wolf if not for Christopher Priest. But there's also some other issues that I wasn't crazy about. Like there's some stuff in there that got a little too wild for me, just for my taste. But no, getting away from all that, let's talk about Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I saw it, Carter. You did not see it.
Didn't even realize it came out this weekend.
Truth be told, I thought Dungeons and Dragons was out this week, so I was like, oh, I'll go see that instead. Then I got to the theater and was like, or actually was looking at my phone rather, because I went ahead and just bought the ticket. But when I got to the theater, I was like, man, I might see if I can return this shit so I can go see D&D instead. And I was like, oh, that's next week.
See, that's the one I thought was coming out this weekend because I've seen a bunch of different fucking commercials for that Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but that movie looked like it's a trip. So I've actively wanted to go see that film. I've only seen like maybe a handful of trailers for Shazam, and it's that same one when he's looking at Heron Mirren talking about Dominic Toretto and family.
It's like family. Which, by the way, that is in the movie. That actually is. They left that in the movie.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I've seen. And like I told you yesterday, like there was no release date with that YouTube ad. I went right back doing what I was doing. Didn't even realize it was coming out.
No, I'm gonna tell you what, and I'll say this, and then we'll talk about the movie. I'm really excited for the D&D movie, if for no other reason than it looks like an actual game of D&D. Like I saw some people saying this doesn't look like D&D. They're laughing and telling jokes and they're doing weird stuff and like going like just fighting people for no reason. I was like, that's what D&D is.
Hmm.
I was like, have you not played D&D? I was like, dude, half the games I've played are just us farting around and then all of a sudden shenanigans. It's like, it's a thing. But yeah, getting into it, let's talk about Shazam Fury
All right.
of the Gods.
I got to hear this. Since no one likes Chuck anymore, I got to hear this.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I will say this. I'm glad you mentioned that. Zachary Levi, he's in a weird place right now. He's in a weird place right now, and I don't know how I feel about that. I haven't fully compartmentalized my feelings about that. But here's what I will say about the movie.
Yes.
Completely divorced of any personal opinions I may or may not have about Zachary Levi. And him appropriating Jewish-ishness to get more movie roles. That said, this movie is the sequel to the previously released Shazam, which is probably my favorite DCEU film. And largely because it's nothing like anything from the DCEU. Like, it's not like Wonder Woman, it's not like Man of Steel, it's not like Batman v Superman, it's nothing like Justice League, nor is it anything like Aquaman or either of the Suicide Squad movies. It was the most un-DCEU film, which was interesting because it was such a lighthearted film that I felt also had some dark stuff in it. Like, had dark subject matter. There are people who get just, like, randomly killed, thrown out of windows, eaten by demons. It also deals with the subject matter of being an adopted kid and how that story doesn't have a happy ending. At least not in terms of learning who your parents are, if that makes any sense. Honestly, I feel like I know some people don't like the first Shazam movie, but for me, I know a lot of the Snyder stands don't like hearing stuff like this, but I think it's better than anything that came out of the Snyderverse, and largely because it ignored it. That said, Shazam: Fury of the Gods kind of continues that same trend of just kind of ignoring the rest of the DCU, and I will definitely say up to a point, ignoring anything that may or may not come after it. Like, this is one of those movies where it is so disconnected from everything. Kind of like how James Gunn even said so himself when he was talking about his breakdown of the slate of the the new DC Universe stuff. He was talking about how, like, Shazam just kind of fits in its own little pocket. And honestly, that's kind of how the comics used to be. I don't know if many of you remember this. There used to be a thing called Earth S. And Earth S was literally the Earth that Shazam was from. Okay. Like, that was where, like, Mary Marvel and all the rest of the Shazam family, that's where all of them hung out. So it kind of made sense to me. Just in the back of my head, just that little quick, like, you know how, like, you watch something and your brain does that really, like, micro-fast Sherlock Holmes bit where you're trying to break down whether or not your suspension of disbelief will allow you to go forward or backward with this. Like, when it was doing all that, it was like, okay, this is all the stuff I thought about, and I was like, okay, cool, I don't care. This movie has a lot of heart. Now, of course, we got, as I mentioned earlier, Zachary Levi coming back as Shazam, Asher Angel, coming back as Billy Batson. And I'll go ahead and say right now, I saw some people talk about this in the Discord, mentioning the Double Toaster review where they talked about how Zachary Levi and Asher Angel's performance, as both Shazam and Billy Batson, respectively, whatever, how it's very disjointed, how neither one of them act like the other. Like, when Asher Angel is on screen as Billy Batson, he doesn't really act like Shazam. He doesn't act the way that Zachary Levi acts, and Zachary Levi doesn't really act in any way that's reminiscent of Asher Angel's performance as Billy Batson. I will say that was also something that was kind of a thing in the first movie. I just kind of ignored it because in my head, the way I thought about it was Shazam is supposed to be Billy Batson at his most perfect prime. And having superpowers, he'd probably be a little more lighthearted than he normally would be. Because in the first movie, when Billy Batson was on screen, he was kind of a dick. He was a dick. Not even kind of. He just was a dick. He was not a nice person.
That's how he was in the John stuff.
Yeah, in the Jeff Johns stuff. But when he became Shazam, he was usually a more likable character. And once again, that Sherlock Holmes, like, you know, analyzing all the data and all the other stuff, doing that like that, I was like, oh, okay, makes sense to me. It's still a thing in this movie, and if that is a thing that will keep you from enjoying the film, I'm gonna go into it right now. It's still there. You'll just kind of have to either have to get over it or go along with it. That's the only thing I can tell you. Okay. I think the only reason why that is jarring to other people, though, is because, and you know, maybe I think like I said, I think your mileage with this will vary. But I think the reason why people have such an issue with it maybe is because when you look at the rest of the Shazam family, all of the actors who play the adult versions of all the other characters, they all act about the same as the child actors who are portraying those characters. So I kind of get why some people would have an issue with this. I understand it. I'm not going to have the same issue because I just don't care. But I will definitely say Megan Good as Darla Dudley. She acts about roughly the same as the actress who portrays her younger self, which I believe is Faith Herman. You know, she's bubbly, she's giddy, you know, she can kind of, you know, she has like this kind of arrested development because she is the youngest of the group. I think that, you know, Jack Dylan Grazer and Adam Brody, who both play you know, Freddie Freeman, they act pretty much the same. I think maybe with Adam Brody being a little more dialed up because he's hamming up being a superhero. But yeah, for the most part, they all act about roughly the same. So yeah, I get why it's a little jarring, but I mean, yeah, if that's going to be your barrier for entry, then yeah, you won't get in. Beyond that, I will definitely say I liked that the aspects of magic are more played up in this film than in the previous. I mean, it's there. The Seven Deadly Sins, Dr. Sylvanas, all that stuff. That is magic. But, like, I mean the whimsicalness of the Shazam universe, especially under Jeff Johns, where, like, they were going to other realms, going to other, fantasy lands. They don't do that, per se, a lot in this movie, but, like, it's there. Like, you know it's there. Actually, I think that's probably the biggest shortcoming of the film, is that the most interesting thing going on in the movie is never really played with, and that's the Room of Doors. Like, they talk about the doors. Like, you see different ones where, like, oh, this one leads here. This one leads there. It's like, dude, I would really love a movie where y'all just leaned into that shit.
Okay.
But they don't do that, unfortunately. We're definitely dealing with darker subject matter. I will say this. They definitely deal with darker subject matter. Largely in terms of death. Like, this movie has a lot of death in it. And some people may like, nah, not really. Because I guess, it's not really like significant characters. It's just characters that you just bump into. There's like, oh my God. You know, it's not a spoiler or anything, but there's a lot of normal people who catch it in this movie. And I mean ugly. Like, most every death in this movie should have been followed by a Wilhelm scream. Y'all know, like, the ah! Like you always hear in movies. Like, almost every death, like, should be like that, or that hunt holler.
Oh,
like,
God.
Ah! Like, there's a lot of deaths that come up in this movie that should be followed by that, but I guess let's address the elephant in the room here. Because this is, I think, the problem that a lot of DC, and maybe Marvel movies have had this problem too, so it's not unique. But I know that was one of the biggest complaints people had with the first Shazam movie, was that Mark Strong as Dr. Sylvanas was kind of a one-note villain. He didn't have anything like that just made him stick out. you're gonna be in the same boat with this movie. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, who play the villains of the movie, that they're the daughters of Atlas, with Helen Mirren playing Hespera and Lucy Liu playing Calypso. They're one-note villains. Helen Mirren might be the better of the bunch. And I'm not, and I want to make sure I'm clear on this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because I think Lucy Liu is a bad actress. I know some people are like, oh man, you think Lucy Liu's a bad actress? No, I don't think it's that. I think, and okay, Carter, you remember Kill Bill Volume 1, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where Lucy Liu cut the dude's head off and kind of went into a monologue?
Yeah.
Lucy Liu is doing that almost the entire movie.
Okay.
Like, you know the part where she's just like going off and just being really hammy?
Mm.
That's Lucy Liu the entire movie. Like, she is... Like, I'm not joking. Like, Lucy Liu... Like, don't get me wrong. I can tell she's having a lot of fun with this. She's having a lot of fun with it, and that's what I think she deserves. She deserves to have fun. But it was one of those things that was hard for me to take her seriously because, like, I felt like she was trying a little too hard to be a threatening villain, and instead of coming off as threatening... Where I think there were some instances where she did come off as very dangerous, there were some instances where she came off as kind of, like, funny. And sometimes there were things where there was, like, jokes that were introduced in her orbit, and she had to respond to them, and it was just, like, it just felt weird that she would go, like, it was too much. It was too much whiplash. What?
So I'm just going to say, like, you're not saying she's a bad actress,
No.
but it's like Tony Romo is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But when you put him next to Tom Brady...
Yeah, right. And here's the thing. I want to put this out here. I think Helen Mirren, while she is given very little to do in this movie, she is the better of the two. And honestly, if you're standing next to Helen Mirren, I'm sorry, you gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle because it's kind of like when... Remember when No Way Home came out? And remember how I was talking about Jamie Foxx? How I said I felt Jamie Foxx was the weaker of the performances? It wasn't because I thought he was bad. It's because, dude, you're standing next to Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe, who are like, they're charisma suckers. These dudes, they suck up all the charisma in the room and hold it for themselves because they're just that good. But that was kind of the situation with this. Helen Mirren, she is kind of getting the most business between the two for the most part.
Ugh.
But not like that,
Oh,
Carter.
you mean...
I mean the most stuff to do as far as things go. But no, she's good. She's good. But it's still one of those things where, like, honestly, I won't remember either one of their performances a week from now.
And T-1 day, whew.
Yeah, T-1 day, I won't remember these performances. I actually made sure on my phone while the movie was going. I normally don't pull my phone out. I was actually very kind. I turned the brightness down on my phone. But I made notes about their performances because I didn't want to forget. If that tells you anything. Excuse me. But I will also say, Rachel Zegler was pretty decent in the film. She's kind of the heart and soul. Some of you may remember her. I think she was in the West Side Story remake. I'm not really familiar with her as an actress, but she was good in the movie for what she had to do.
Why she got fidget spinners on her hands?
This motherfucker. I don't want to say because it would spoil the movie. I'm only showing, and I want to be clear, I'm only showing that image because it's in all the trailers. So there you go. But I won't say any more about her character beyond that. Just know that she is in the movie. She does stuff. But all in all, I thought all the stuff going in the film with the Shazam family, all that stuff was great. I think that's where the movie is at its strongest, when the Shazam family is interacting with one another. The infighting, the push and pull, how everyone kind of has their own personality, playing up the aspects. Like, to be fair, well, you mentioned that joke about where he like slaps his hand on the table. He's like, family. To make fun of the Fast and Furious. That is, while that is a thing, I think this movie does a really good job of showcasing that, this is what family is like. Especially when you come from a family of, where, and not even just a big family where, like, everybody is blood related, but even, like, a family where everyone's adopted.
Yeah.
Like, everyone, there's moments where we get along. There's moments where we don't get along. There's moments where we misunderstand each other. There's moments where personalities clash, and honestly, that is my favorite aspect of the first movie. When they introduce the Shazam family, when everybody gets the power of Shazam, that's where that movie just becomes like a top tier film for me. Like, it's already a good movie, but that's what elevated it. And that is what I was so excited to see, is actually see these characters. And I will definitely say, Darla and Freddy get the most to do out of any of the Shazam family. They get the most to do. But everyone else is also getting something. Pedro, and I forget the Asian kid's name. They both get stuff to do. Their characters get stuff to do and say that they're not just in the background. Mary Marvel, she gets a lot of business in this as well. And honestly, I think the reason why I think her portrayal probably gets lost in translations, because she's the only character in the movie who transforms into a powered state, and the actress doesn't change because she's already an adult.
Gotcha.
And the parents, they're great, as they were before. All in all, I thought the movie's got some weird acts going on. Without spoiling much, the first act ends and pretty much becomes Under the Dome. Take that information how you will. The second act is full of a bunch of hijinks. And I think this isn't really a spoiler either, but Djimon Hounsou comes back as the Wizard, with a better beard and wig than in the previous movie. But I will say this, he's mostly just there for laughs a lot of the time. He's mostly there for laughs, like fish out of water laughs. And it's not a bad thing either. I think it's perfectly fine. But yeah, I will say this, the movie turns into Dragon's Dogma by Act 3. When you get to Act 3, well, no, and I say that because it's called. I think people have seen this in the trailers, but like the fury of the gods is unleashed. That means monsters are running roughshod in the world. We saw the dragon and whatnot. But you start seeing cyclopses and minotaurs and harpies, and I was like, I immediately started hearing the Dragon's Dogma theme start playing in the back of my head when, like when the girls start singing at the beginning, and all of a sudden the guitars kick in. I heard the whole time they were fighting. I was like, God damn. But yeah, I will definitely say the movie ends a little weird. Okay. Carter, you remember how everybody was complaining about Quantum Mania?
Yes. How
Quantum Mania ended with too happy an ending?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it technically ended with an ominous ending. But everyone's like, oh, man, they should have went this direction because I think it would have meant more. I felt that way about this movie.
Okay.
There's something that happens in this movie. I'm not going to say what it is right now, but there's something that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, y'all should have leaned into it. I think this movie would have been this would have been an A+ S tier movie if they would have leaned into it, especially given everything that's going on right now.
Now, we could very easily have a back and forth as to why you didn't feel that way about Quantum Mania, but then that's going to start an argument about you standing Marvel films. But here's what I want to know, because I don't know if you want to go into spoilers on the movie. I don't care either way, but since you brought up the ending, the question I wanted to ask is, with what you said about James Gunn saying it takes place in its own little pocket of the DCU, I heard that there were 2 after credit scenes.
Yes, there are. Yes.
Do you see this franchise continuing under James Gunn's reign?
You know what? I'm gonna answer that question, but
Y'all gonna put some respect on me. I know how to ask fucking questions around here. Y'all ain't just gonna laugh and blur without fear, and blur without fear says the same shit Carter says. I got you, motherfuckers. I'm good, but please.
Right, yeah. Let's put this up real quick, because
Okay.
I want to make sure. So I'm gonna give everybody a spoiler warning. If you are interested in seeing this film and you do not want to be spoiled, step away for like a few minutes, because there's some things I do want to talk about real quick, and I'll try and be as quick as humanly possible, and or mute the tab, or whatever, whatever the case is. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so spoilers for Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Okay.
So Carter asked the question, how do I feel this is going to line up with the rest of the DC universe going forward?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll fit in just fine.
Okay.
Because of the post-credits that are out there, for those who may or may not know, for one, the end of the movie, Shazam is killed. But he is immediately brought back by Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, like all the people talk about, oh, Wonder Woman's in the movie. They kind of do the same thing they did in the first movie with Superman, where you see her, but you never see her face. Every time she turns around, the camera angle shifts to where you just see her back or her from the side, or her hair's in the way you can't really tell who it is.
Mm-hmm.
They completely double down with it in the end of the movie, where Gal Gadot actually shows up.
Oh, wow.
And some people thought it was weird, but she is a god, technically. And she is from that pantheon. She's from that pantheon of gods.
Yeah, I thought you would have said that they thought it was weird because she's from the Snyder shit. Why is she still here?
Well, yeah, there was that too. But like, so she brings him back. So that's what the thing I was talking about earlier when I said I feel like they should have leaned into the fact that he died. But I get why they didn't do it, because at the end of the movie, the post-credit scenes, we see Economos and Harcourt. Some of you may remember Harcourt on the left, Economos on the right.
Why Greybeard in the Shazam movie? Oh man.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. The reason why they did this is because Amanda Waller believes that Shazam should be on the Justice Society. Which is basically kind of their way of letting... And I don't know if James Gunn could have vetoed this or what they're going to do with this going forward, but here's what I took away from that. The idea of the Justice Society still hanging around is interesting to me, because the Justice Society, as of late, is largely associated with Black Adam. And Black Adam has kind of been treated like a redheaded stepchild recently, as if they are not going to do anything else with Black Adam or anything from Black Adam. But it seems like James Gunn, because this seems like something he shot. It feels like something he shot. I don't know if he did. Not saying he did, not saying he didn't, but it feels the tenor of the dialogue between Harcourt and Economos, it felt straight out of Peacemaker.
You know what? It's actually funny that you said this, because James Gunn checked somebody on Twitter, and, because someone tweeted at him saying that James Gunn is just trying to put his wife in all these movies. And I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Now that you're telling me this, and he said that the only thing that I have ever put my wife in was Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or no, he said, no, not Suicide Squad, Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Let me correct myself. He said the only thing that he has put her in is Peacemaker. But I know you all want to find any reason to get angry with me, so go off.
Well, no, here's the funny thing, though, because he didn't start... I don't think they started dating until after the Suicide Squad. I think that's how they met.
Okay.
I think. I'm not 100% on that. I'm not trying to pretend I know the inner workings of his relationship with his current wife. But if I remember correctly, the Suicide Squad was how they met.
Okay.
And then Peacemaker, he put her in that because, well, I mean, why not? And I don't think it was him that put her in Black Adam. She was actually put in Black Adam because the studio wanted to put her in it because of the ties to Peacemaker. It didn't have that. None of that had anything to do with James Gunn. So she did, that was of her own accord, and she's a great actress. I mean, if you completely divorce,
I didn't even mean to derail what you were saying, but just go ahead.
Yeah,
it makes sense now as to why I saw that.
Yeah. It's but no, I think the idea here is that if everything does continue on, I feel like if they do go with the Justice Society going forward in the DC universe, Shazam probably will be a part of it, which would make some modicum of sense. I don't know what that means for Black Adam or anything else for that matter. And it kind of seems like they leave it open-ended. They actually use that scene as more of an opportunity to make an Avengers joke. Because you remember in the first movie how he was doing like the lightning in my hands, like doing that thing, like blowing shit up. He's doing that when they find him. And they ask him to join the Justice Society, but like they just say Justice, and he cuts them off and says, "Oh, the Justice League," and they're like, "No, the Justice Society." He starts making jokes about how it's kind of confusing that there's two groups in the same universe that have justice in their name, and making jokes. He's like, I can think of some better names. What about the Authority Society? That's what let me know James Gunn did this shit. But then he was like, oh, what about the Avengers Society? And then that's when the scene cuts out. But no, so there's that. But I think it's safe to say Shazam's not going anywhere. Now, there is another post-credit scene. This was the one that had people confused.
Okay.
So, many of you probably remember the post-credit from the original movie that focus on the character of Mr. Mind, the little caterpillar that can talk. This one, I think, is the one that they really played for laughs, because when Mr. Mind came out, and Mark Strong is there too. I thought
he died in the first one.
No, they arrested him. They put him in prison. And that's when Mr. Mind came to him making it sound like he was going to bust him out.
That's right. Okay.
So in this one, Mark Strong got a long ass beard, and he turns around and Mr. Mind shows, he's like, dude, where have you been? It's been 2 years. He's got been sitting here languishing for 2 years. You said you'd be right back. And then they make a joke. Mark Strong makes a joke about how he's getting old. Like, he actually brings up that he's 57. Basically implying that by the time they get around to Mr. Mind, he's going to be too old to be a part of it, which I don't think is true.
He could have just said he's one of the Kingsmen. He's been busy.
Yeah. Well, what ends up happening is Mr. Mind is like, okay, I'm ready to enact my evil plan. And basically, he's okay, get me out of here. And then Mr. Mind's like, yeah, I'll be right back. I got one more thing I got to do. Basically kind of making fun of the fact that Mr. Mind was supposed to be the villain of this movie. But they ended up scrapping it because they had other ideas and it was too weird. But they even make some jokes about the fact he's like, well, I'm a caterpillar. I have to crawl everywhere I go. That's why it's taken me so long to do what I'm doing. It's played for stupidity. It's played for stupidity and making fun of the situation. Does this mean Mr. Mind is the villain of Shazam 3 if we get a Shazam 3? I don't think that's the case. I think they're just taking the piss out of it. But all in all, I guess I probably should have given this before I went to spoilers, but I'm done with spoilers. But you can bring it back in if you've been muted. I will definitely say, and I think I told you this yesterday, I didn't know how I felt about it. Like, I wasn't sure if I liked it more or less than the first one. I do like the movie. I don't think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen, though. So I guess I'd have to say I like it a little bit less. Because I really like the first movie. This one I just like. I like it. I don't love it. But it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie by any stretch.
So with Gal Gadot being back, you think, since we already got Wonder Woman 84, you think we'll get Wonder Woman 92, have her involved in the LA riots? What you think, bro?
Well, I mean, she was already hanging out during the crack epidemic, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, are we gonna see? Are we gonna see Miss Themyscira herself, the Queen? Are we gonna see her and Artemis going against Franklin Saint and Uncle Jerome? What you think, bro?
Wait, is Maxwell Lord coming back?
Bro,
no, I don't. No, please, no. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's why I kind of feel so weird about the movie, because I feel like it's one of those. Okay, some of you probably know what I'm talking about. You remember that movie? Was it Dracula Untold?
Yeah.
Do you remember how that movie ended? How it was like it ended with them being in the present day.
Yeah, he met old girl in the present time.
Yeah, and then Charles Dance shows up and says the game is on, basically implying there was going to be a sequel. It felt like this movie's ending felt like one of those moments. Like, I don't think we'll know. I honestly don't think we'll know until James Gunn tells us that there will be more Shazam. Like, there's not a thing at the end of the movie either, like with Marvel saying Shazam will be back. There's not even that.
Wow.
So, like, because so when that Mr. Mind shit happens,
yeah,
then the movie just ends. It's over. Like, they started showing, like, some other shit. And I remember there was a lady behind me who was like, what the fuck was that? And I literally turned around, was like, some craziness from the 1940s, and I just got up and walked out.
What?
Yeah, there was a lot of people in the theater like, I stuck around for that?
A caterpillar? Hey,
I mean, I laughed.
Y'all cut, and they got to cut that shit out because Marvel has done a lot worse. Y'all can't shit on DC for that. Marvel has done a lot worse with them after credit scenes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we can just keep A1 here. Okay, Quantumania had what, 2? One of them had something to do with the goddamn TV show. Not even the movie we just got to see it. So come on now,
right?
Even though it's a show, motherfuckers like that ain't had nothing to do with the movie.
No, not at all. I remember when what was it? No Way Home came out. The post-credit scene for that movie was literally a trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's all it was. It was literally the trailer.
So many of you all told me about the after credit shit for Morbius, so y'all can't act like it's just DC now.
Woo, man, that movie sure did think it was getting a sequel. Woo, damn. The Game is On award goes to Morbius and Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
But so okay, let me ask you this then, okay? Because you got on me about this for Quantumania, so I'm gonna ask you while I drink some water here.
Go ahead.
Do you think that this is something that has to be seen in theaters, or can we wait for that HBO Max that we paying for that we really don't be using?
I think this is one you could wait to see it at home.
Woo!
Yeah, you could wait to see it at home. And I don't mean that in a bad way either. I don't mean it in a bad way either. Like, I mean, Quantumania, I give Quantumania that because it had big vistas, big action sequences. There was a lot of, like, spectacle. Not to say Shazam didn't have it, but it was just like, I felt like Shazam is more quaint home family viewing. Whereas I felt Quantumania was more deserving of a theatrical release. But honestly, if you ask me, I could watch any movie at home. But
of course,
if I would want to see something, like if I had a choice, if you asked me which one I would prefer to see on the big screen, I'd say Quantumania every day. I would pick Quantumania 10 times out of 10. But that said, we got some super chats here, man. Oh, hey, we got one here. Hold on, let me get rid of this real quick. So we got we're covering up the lower third there, my guy. We got one from the homie LL Melvin L with the with the 2000 party over. Oops, out of time. Dun, 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 super chat says, "Good afternoon, crew. Hopeful y'all had a good breakfast. I had a corn dog. Don't ask why." Says, have y'all read the Blacula comic? Hashtag Melvin Core.
I have not. I actually had. I think it's still in my Amazon cart, if I can be honest. It's if you don't know what he's referring to, it's Blacula: Return of the King. I'm hoping that's the one you're talking about. It's the most recent one. It's from Rodney Barnes, and the reason I wanted to read it was just because the art is done by Jason Sean Alexander, who's been doing a lot of the Spawn shit. So that's why I wanted to read it. But when somebody told me about this in the comic shop, it was actually the day that fucking dweeb came up to me mad at Blerd. But the way he described it was like take Vampire in Brooklyn, but it's serious and it's L.A.
Yeah.
So it's Blacula, but it's in L.A. But it's more serious. But I'm like, you don't even got to tell me that part. I saw Jason Sean Alexander, and I really like his art from Spawn. So I'm willing to give it any kind of a read.
As a Philadelphia stan,
yeah,
I would most certainly check this out. I didn't know that it was a thing, so I heard about it recently, but once again, that's one of those deals where sometimes shit just kind of sneaks up on you. but yeah, no, I'll add that to my list. How was it something that literally just came out?
No, it came out January.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can rock with that. Then let's move on to our next one here. Levester the Samurai says, "Welcome back. Here my donation this week. Catch y'all later." Hey, we appreciate you, pimp. Thank you. Good stuff.
Appreciate it.
And then we also got one here from the homie Lost Doctor 312 says, "What's up, Blerd Cave? Sorry I'm late today. It's okay, my friend. It's okay." Because you know what they say? A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. That's some Lord of the Rings there for you. And you can apply the same to Doctor.
That's why I don't know it.
Let's see here. Let's move on to our next thing. Let me get us... Let's get us onto our next topic. Sacha Baron Cohen. Lord have mercy. Sacha Baron Cohen has been not officially revealed, but has been talked about.
Borat
himself, who this rumor has actually been going on for quite a while. This actually isn't news. But a trusted industry insider by the name of Jeff Snyder of the Hot Mic podcast has revealed that a Marvel Studios special presentation about Mephisto is shooting as we speak on the set of Marvel Studios' upcoming Disney Plus series, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, which could mean a lot of things. Now, we know that there was already another Marvel presentation or special presentation was already in the works. We knew there was another one involving, I believe, it was assumed the Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing, but nothing was ever really fully confirmed there. The idea that they're shooting on the set of Agatha, Coven of Chaos is interesting, but I don't know. The thing is, the reason why I think that there might be some truth to this is because they're not the only ones saying this. Deadline also has seemingly corroborated these reports, not with them as a source, but with an anonymous source that's close to the production. Both are also citing that Sacha Baron Cohen is, in fact, slated to play the character. Now, for those who do not remember, this all dates back to some reports that came out back in October of last year, where Cohen was said to be making his MCU debut as the Dark Lord, the devil himself, and this is just a Photoshop, y'all, so don't take this seriously, as Mephisto.
Too late.
Oh, no, everybody's going to take the blame.
No, fuck that. So that's that. Okay, y'all gonna give me grief for this, but that don't look... It reminds me of when he was locked in Vegas.
Yeah, the damnation, yeah. Which, if they
that's
go
what
with
that
that,
reminds me of.
I would go with that. I would lean with that, actually. I mean, Mephisto has kind of gone back to his old school look as of late. But if you go to the Midnight Suns, the Midnight Suns video game, where he appears, this is how he looks there, kind of in a round, looks almost kind of like a gothic David Bowie. Which, either way, I don't really care. I think would be just interesting to see. But yeah, the reason why a lot of this even came out in the first place is because there were reports that he was going to appear in the Ironheart TV series. Now, if you're asking yourself, like you just asked, Carter, if you're asking yourself why he would show up in the Ironheart TV series, I can kind of mental gymnastics some kind of way into it. The reason why is because the villain of that TV series is the Hood. And for those who do not know, the Hood derives his power from a cloak from Dormammu. Now, me being me, considering Dormammu was already in the MCU, I thought it would make more sense if they just made Dormammu, appear in Ironheart as opposed to Mephisto. But knowing how Marvel likes to do things, they like to go their own way sometimes with certain stuff. I could see them going the other direction and tying it to Mephisto instead. It wouldn't make as... It would just be weird, but whatever. I feel like Dormammu's already there, but I think the problem with Dormammu is, and I think a lot of people don't remember this, Dormammu doesn't have an actor that's not already in the MCU as well. A lot of people forget Dormammu is played by Benedict Cumberbatch in the first movie. So... oh, but no. I don't know, Carter.
Yeah.
What do you think about this, man?
I thought it was kind of strange, and my question to you first off is, I was under the idea that when it comes to Riri Williams, they kind of keep her shit more so until like the champion stuff. They kept her a lot more grounded. No.
Yes.
So
yes, she fought mostly Iron Man villains. So
it kind of strikes me as odd that we're going the supernatural route with her character. I'm not mad at it. It was just something I was like, okay, that's different. That's interesting. That'll really I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. It was just a really interesting way.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird in an interesting way, not weird in a bad way.
Right.
But no, I was laughing at LJ Brown's super chat.
I just saw it
because I actually I watched that yesterday to see what people were talking about and was like, oh, okay. Alrighty then. The one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one thing I wanted to bring up because people in chat keep talking about how we have a funny guy in a serious role, and it lets me know that some of y'all are on the younger side just because Robin Williams was funny, but when it was time to do a serious role, it was a serious role.
Yeah.
Canceled Ginger Louis C.K. comedian. Well, you go watch his show that was on FX.
It was serious.
That was some fucked up stuff in that show.
It was funny in spots, but it was a very serious show.
A lot of Sarah Silverman's another one. A lot of the funny people that you all see and stuff, they can turn on the serious bone real quick. Yeah. Cat Williams got a goddamn award for it because he did it in Atlanta.
He did actually.
I think a lot of people think like Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart is the funny guy, and then he tried to do that serious shit that TV show with Wesley Snipes, but that was a hot mess. And
Bob Odenkirk. Better Call Saul. Saul. He's a comedian.
Exactly.
He's a comedian.
Bryan Cranston. A lot of motherfuckers remember him from Seinfeld.
Yeah. Bryan
Breaking
Cranston.
Bad. So it's just that's one thing I have to stress to a lot of you all that are in the chat right now. And Elite X1 just hit the nail on the head, even though he laughed at Ernie, even though Ernie and I said the same thing in Discord. Most comedians do have a dramatic side. I think one thing that a lot. I don't like saying Jamie Foxx. I don't think he's that good of an actor. But one thing I was going to say was like, we're funny people, but we can be serious. Meaning you and myself. So like I think one thing I've heard several times.
Woody Harrelson.
There you go.
He was a comedian.
That's a deep cut. A lot of folks don't know that. A lot of folks do not know that. But I think one thing I've always heard is like the funniest person in the room is also the person that deals with the most like fucked up stuff. so they can reach in and get those dramatic roles. Not saying you need to be dramatic for fucking Mephisto here. I think that's one reason Sacha Baron Cohen might have gotten the gig if this rumor is true. You ain't got to be serious to be Mephisto. You just get to be dark and twisted and fucked up like that. What we do in the shadows stuff. You can be funny, hee ha ha vampire, but then the fucked up stuff comes along when you slaughter a group of people. So
Mephisto is also not a very serious character either. Like he's more of he's one of those characters, and I don't know. Honestly, I feel like if you're gonna take anything from anywhere, I hope they take something from Midnight Suns, because I actually really like how he's portrayed in that game. He's portrayed as a threat, but he's also funny, and he's very like he makes jokes, he messes with people, and I think that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. I like characters that can ride that line. And to be fair, while a lot of people may only remember Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat, I've seen him in other stuff where he's been serious, and he's a very good actor. I used to think he was a goofball, but so I didn't take him seriously. Yeah. And while this isn't a serious role, the first time I saw him in something where he wasn't like playing up everything for laughs, I think it was in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
And well, once again, he's the.
He was fun. He was supposed to be funny in that. He was funny.
No, he was funny, but he wasn't doing like the typical buffoonery stuff. Oh, like gotcha. he was doing more in that. He was doing more theater. He wasn't being like Borat, like just trying to get reactions. And that let me know that's like, because he actually took the singing seriously. Like, he was being goofy, but he was seriously singing. Yeah. So I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Elite X1 just brought something up in the chat, just with the recent issue of Avengers Forever that happened. I read that myself, but just to kind of bring this back to the Ironheart stuff, I think it's, like I said, I think it's strange, but
not in a bad way.
With her, I'm willing to hold a lot of stuff to myself and wait for the finished product, just because, to be quite honest, I didn't read Riri Williams. I did not read when Tony Stark was basically her fairy godmother when he was dead. I didn't read. I've read some of the Champion stuff, but not a lot of it. I didn't read a lot of the Amadeus Cho Hulk stuff when she was in there a few times. So I don't know a lot about Riri, so I'm not going to try to just put something on her, be negative or be positive. I'm just going to, I'm in a wait and see when it comes to whatever we get with this. Sacha Baron Cohen being Mephisto, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I will say this too. Kevin Feige did recently say there are two things going on in the upcoming phases. And the two things he mentioned were street level and the supernatural. Yeah. So that's 2 in 1 right there. That's a Marvel 2 in 1. There you go. You actually can put some branding on it. Let's move on to our next one. We've got Hellfire Gala 2023 news.
Yeah.
And the return of the Unity Squad.
Yuck.
So for those who know what I'm talking about, that is we have the Hellfire Gala every year since at least for the last couple of years. And it's also where the X Vote takes place. We're going to learn the winner of the X Vote in X-Men Hellfire Gala #1, which is coming out on July the 26th. Which we actually got to see a cover for. So looks pretty awesome. I like what I'm seeing here. Looks very interesting. You see some cool stuff going on here. I find it ominous that Nimrod is just chilling right there. We also see Dr. Stasis. A lot of people thought that was Mr. Sinister. That is actually Dr. Stasis. He's the one with the club on his head. But what I found interesting here is that we're not just going to have the Hellfire Gala in the comics, Carter. That same month, as a part of Comic-Con International, San Diego Con, as well as Disney's D23 event, Marvel Comics will be teaming up to host a real-world Hellfire Gala event for X-Men fans at San Diego Con. So that is going down. It's going to be a thing. I have already prepared my tweet to Marvel Entertainment to be like, hey, y'all want to fly your boy out?
I was just about. I thought you were gonna say I was already prepared my ticket because I will make the trip to San Diego.
Yeah.
Suit it up, bro.
Look, y'all heard it here. If Marvel will have your boy,
man,
I will be there. Okay, I will be there if Marvel will have me. I will come. Okay. But no, Marvel released a statement saying you are cordially invited to join Marvel and D23, the official Disney fan club, as we outfit the fiercest fashion and prepare for the powered up party of the summer. Says mutants, heroes, villains, and those in between are invited to the first ever real-life Hellfire Gala, where we're bringing the living island of Krakoa to San Diego, California on July the 22nd, 2023.
Yeah, I'm real shit. I'm down to go.
Yeah.
If they will, man, listen. I'm down to go if you up here. That would be something dope for us to go see.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
That would distract me from looking at Hellfire 2023 and the Auntie Squad returns at the bottom of this bar. Right.
Look, I'm just saying, man. I just find it funny that I'm assuming that I see Jean and I see Emma Frost got the tatas breathing.
Yeah, I see how he didn't. Chat, you all see how Ernie didn't catch it.
Hey, look, that's the mommy squad down there, my guy.
That's
mommy squad down there.
No. I didn't notice it until someone in the chat said, read that down. Read that down. Hellfire 2023 and the Auntie Squad.
Anyway. Got it now. Hey, I did this at 4:00 in the morning. Leave me alone.
Hey, if you want to say Jean and Emma are some fine aunties, I'm right there with you.
Hey,
I'm right there
that
with
is true. They are.
I will most certainly be their nephew's friends just so I can go eat some stovetop at the house.
Look, I'm just, but Emma Frost is part of the mommy squad. Let's not hate.
Man, I want to go to Hellfire Gala.
I do too. If I get to go, I'm in. But they to continue on, they said the Hellfire Gala is always the biggest event of the season, but this year's will upend Krakoa as we know it. What is meant to be mutant kind's greatest night becomes their worst nightmare as the fall of X begins. All your favorite X-Men are going to be left reeling after a series of shocking revelations, stunning betrayals, horrifying tragedy, impossible deaths, and more. This is going to be written by Jerry Duggan. It is also going to include artists Chris Anka, Joshua Cassara, Russell Dauterman, Adam Kubert, Pepe Larraz, R.B. Silva, and Luciano Vecchio, many of whom will also be designing some of the mutant fashion looks that characterize the Hellfire Gala party. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll also learn the identity of the new X-Man that was voted on earlier this year. So we'll get all of that. We'll also be getting the announcement, Carter, of the Uncanny Avengers. Hey, man, the Unity Squad is back, man. Or the Auntie Squad is back.
I don't like that roster. When I saw this, I was just like, it's just the roster from last time. Ugh. With Penance.
Well, and Psylocke, I think, because or the Quanon, not it's not the
Captain Britain.
Yeah, it ain't Captain Britain. Which I'm okay with this. I'm actually okay with this because this will, as Carter's mentioned, we got returning Unity Squad members: Captain America, Deadpool, Rogue, Quicksilver, all of whom have been part of the Uncanny Avengers in the past. Psylocke and Penance will be rounding out the team as new members. And the book will also feature Captain Krakoa, but this is not Cyclops as Captain Krakoa. This is going to be a new Captain Krakoa who has been mysteriously introduced.
who is killing humans and mutants left and right.
Yes, they are catching bodies, and they are not a part of this team. I will say, part of me wondered why Havoc wasn't on this team. And now I'm starting to wonder if he might be Captain Krakoa.
I feel like he too busy trying not to just get stepped on by Madeline Pryor and try to
It might be.
slide in, because I really feel like he might have sex with her on occasion, but I feel like she beats him. I just really feel like she beats him down there in limbo. So I think he too busy with that right now. But I don't feel like Havoc would cause problems for both the X-Men and the Avengers, unless somebody tried some slick shit with Madeline.
Yeah,
I don't see Havoc myself, but just man, this team and the art for this cover. Hopefully, whoever did the free comic book day, whoever did this cover right here, is not the person who doing the book proper. But ugh.
All I will say is that Jerry Duggan is going to be the one writing it.
That's the only saving grace from this.
Yeah. As far as the artist is going to be Javier Garron. Which hold on. That was
I thought that was him that was balding at the bottom.
No. That was I clicked off. But no, that was actually I forget the actor's name, but he was comedic actor turned serious. But no, so I don't know. I'm interested. But I do like what's going on here, because basically the whole idea is that the devastating events of the Hellfire Gala and the tragic circumstances of the fall of X calls for the return of the Avengers Unity Squad in a new run of Uncanny Avengers. Innocent people and world leaders are dead after simultaneous attacks on the U.S. and Krakoan governments, and that means one thing: it's time for a new squad of Avengers. False flag attacks meant to whip up anti-mutant hysteria are unfolding, and hey, some of Steve Rogers' best friends are mutants. That's a part of the blurb.
I hate that quote, because it's just like, I'm pretty sure they don't fuck Steve Rogers like that.
I mean, they do now.
He cool. He good people. He good people. Like I had some Starbucks with him. But, like,
Cyclops and Cap are cool. Yeah, especially as of late. I
will have an espresso with him and eat a cranberry tart. If I see you in passing. But that's where it's gonna get left. Like,
I mean, that's fair. I mean, go ahead.
I was Uncanny Avengers. It didn't have the best run, and I'm talking about even if you go back and read it, even when Remender was writing it. I will say though
that was a rumor. Scarlet Witch got turned
her
and Quicksilver. Yeah, they got turned back to normal humans. Or not normal humans, but like they just are mutants.
They're not mutants anymore. Yeah. So I think back then, the one thing that people really talked about more than anything was how fantastic that art was for that book, and people liked the Dark Angel stuff being brought back to an Avengers book, but it was the Apocalypse Twins, and motherfuckers tend to forget the Apocalypse Twins. But I say all that to say, just I don't know, dude. I wasn't really feeling the Uncanny Avengers when it was a thing, and I think even more now. Now you want a Unity Squad back. I think if I'm the X-Men, I would really love it if somebody wrote this in one of these issues where it's you just want this team back because we good over here right now. We're a sovereign nation. We good. We just help you motherfuckers save the world from a fuck up Tony Stark did. So it's just like, I bet you do want us on the Avengers right now. The Avengers ain't that good if a certain mutant left every memory he had from being on the Avengers, because it just ain't that crucial, big dog. So
he's like, he left it like I left that bag in New Orleans. But no, Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I'll check it out. I'm not gonna say that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not.
of course.
But I will definitely say this is the news that actually had me shooketh.
Uh-oh.
And that is Chip Zdarsky.
Uh-oh. What do you do?
Marco Cicchetto.
What did God do, Chip? What has God done?
Daredevil creative team Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto are leaving the series, which is all good things must come to an end, I guess. But they have literally had about roughly 5 years.
5 years. It does not seem like it's been 5 years.
It does not.
Maybe it's just because I came on late.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I'm feeling
I did
that.
too.
Okay.
I did too. I came in 2021. Like, I think it started No, shit. It started 2018, I think, didn't it? Yeah.
I can't even lie to you like that. I came in like before Devil's Reign, like maybe an issue or two before Devil's Reign.
Mm. Yeah, mine was I was like 2021. 2021-ish. But no, yeah, after 5 years, Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto, they're going to be taking an exit, taking a bow from the Daredevil series, as Chip Zdarsky shared on Twitter, says, like, as the statement says, this is what God has done. We don't really know what's going to happen, but this will basically be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Says everything is presumably going to come to a head in Daredevil number 14, with the issue expected to arrive in August. And yeah, we don't really know who's taking over afterward. We don't really have any word on that yet, at least as far as I'm aware. We don't know who is going to be picking up the slack.
Yeah.
Afterward, but it has been a fantastic run.
Yeah. It was almost like a TV show, to be honest with you, just because he was on it for 5 years. You can basically say he did 5 seasons of Daredevil. It's really, really good. I'm wondering now, because I did actually like make the tweet of like, what did God do, Chip? But since we're bringing God into the equation in this Daredevil saga, I'm wondering if it has to do with the guy who said he got his powers from God. That's basically
Goldie.
been. Yeah, I'm wondering if this has more to do with him, and that's what that is referencing.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I don't know. Honestly, I'm very interested to see where it's going, because I mean, Chip's run on Daredevil has been probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And this is even after, because while I was on my trip, I went back and reread the entirety of the Mark Waid run.
Oh, wow.
The entirety of it. Not just not just the volume 3, but when they relaunched the series and he went to San Francisco. I read all of it, cover to cover. And I knew the series, it's probably my favorite run. But right now, Chip Zdarsky's getting damn close. He's getting damn close. Maverick, like I said, I'll stay by this, but Daredevil has some of the most consistent when it comes to runs. So it's a tough feat to have the best Daredevil run.
Now I want to see if you keep that same opinion when I send you this Bendis run.
Well, no, I love the Bendis run too. Bendis is honestly the Bendis and Zdarsky run is fighting. They fighting right now. Matter of fact, the Ed Brubaker, all three of them over. Like, you remember that scene in Dark Knight where Joker broke the pull stick, and threw one half of it down and said, "All right, y'all fight it out." That's what Ed Brubaker, Bendis, and Chip Zdarsky doing right now.
Wow. Wow.
I'm like this. Throw it down. Y'all fight for it. Fight for your freedom. But no, that's all I really want to say with it. I don't really have any. There's no other news here with this. We got some other comic book news we're going to talk about here real quick. But I do want to I do want to highlight the super chat that LJ Brown put in. Because we kind of got on a roll and I kind of forgot. But yeah, LJ Brown with the £5 says, "I miss a few Blerd caves. Blerd's trying to grow a Rick Ross beard, and Carter looks as guilty as Damon after blowing Chloe Bailey's back out." I mean,
I didn't know why that was trending on Twitter yesterday, and then I saw it, and at first I was like, "Damn!" So this is what the Little Mermaid getting into now. She got legs. I didn't know that was the sister to that girl.
Yup.
But I'm actually gonna get rid of my beard after the cave's done. I'm gonna get rid of it. We're gonna do clean shave Carter for a little bit.
Clean shave Carter.
If we're doing the whole villain arc, we got to change everything. When Jericho went real big bad, he stopped wearing he stopped wearing the tights and he just started wearing a little speedo. Mia stopped wearing the ugly shorts and started wearing the trunks. So if we're gonna do this whole villain origin thing for me, we gotta do it right.
Oh yeah,
we gotta do it right.
Oh yeah, 100%. I guess we go ahead and move on to our next one. That is the Flash and Wonder Woman are getting new solo series.
Okay.
I guess we go ahead and start off. Let's start off with Wonder Woman. Ladies first.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, as part of the Dawn of DC initiative, is getting a new #1 after her 800th issue comes out. And the funny thing is, both of these, both Flash and Wonder Woman, these are going to follow both of their respective 800th issues. So this is technically issue number 801. But Wonder Woman's getting a new creative team, and it will include, some people will probably have feelings about this one way or the other. But Tom King and Daniel Sampere are taking over from co-writers Becky Cloonan and Michael W. Conrad, who have been working on Wonder Woman for the last, I think, 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Which, it's fine. I'm interested to see where Tom King's going to take this because, Tom King has a very specific mindset when it comes to writing. He has 2 modes, I think, and it's all based on his background. He usually tends to lean into intrigue and sometimes espionage, depending on what the title is. You can probably look more towards Human Target for that sort of thing, and then just general weirdness. And I'm kind of wondering if he's going to go that route, like if he's going to go like not saying he's going to go the Vision route or like the Mr. Miracle route or anything like that with Wonder Woman, but I don't know. I have to wonder. I don't really know what to expect out of a Tom King Wonder Woman run, but I'm curious. But yeah, I don't know. It could be interesting.
I'm willing to give him some rope because I didn't. I heard about the Supergirl stuff and just kind of ignored it because it. I didn't ignore it because I don't care about Supergirl. I ignored it because it was main DC.
Yeah.
And anytime he's on main DC, whether it's Batwoman or now this or something else, it ain't really the best. When he's doing one of his little 12-issue close to the vest kind of books where he's left his own devices, he's hitting on all cylinders. Mr. Miracle, Vision, Omega Man, fucking stuff like that. Human Target, especially. So when he's doing those, he's gonna hit. And honestly, with main DC, there's nowhere to go but up from the Batman stuff, and there's Gearless Mo. But with Wonder Woman, I would give him a shot because I still actually need to read his. I still need to read the Supergirl stuff because I'm interested in reading that. And
I actually meant to read it while I was on the boat, but I forgot to download it.
Yeah.
So I could read it. So it's one of those I had to wait till I could get back to Civilization and pull up Comixology. So that was that was a sad realization when I was on the boat, but it's okay.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about this Wonder Woman is it's got a steep hill to climb because Dead Earth, big dog. Nothing's beating that to me.
Well,
so
I know nothing's gonna beat Wonder Woman Dead Earth for you. Personally, I enjoyed some of the last iterations of Wonder Woman as a solo series, which, oh man, I'm trying to remember who was on.
I will say, before Dead Earth,
Mhm.
I liked a lot of Azzarello's stuff when she was wearing like the pants, like not the skirt, but the pants.
Oh, yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from.
I did like some of Azzarello's Wonder Woman stuff.
I'm trying to remember who started off Wonder Woman when Rebirth came out. I'm actually pulling it up now so I can see it. But I was actually enjoying some of the early Rebirth stuff, some of the DC Universe stuff when they did the rebranding. Wonder Woman for me has always kind of been pretty good. I mean, it definitely has hits, it has misses. I think any comic that runs, because I think the more recent stuff, because I think they ran for, was it 70? No, they didn't. It ran for, I think, 83 issues, then they went back to legacy numbering at 750. And have been back to legacy numbering ever since. So it's been, let's see, how many issues is this that I'm looking at here? The last 134 issues of Wonder Woman. Anything that runs that long, you're bound to have hits, you're bound to have misses. So I think that's fair. But I've enjoyed a lot of it, especially as of late. The more they leaned into some of the Nubia stuff, the more they leaned into some of the Themyscira stuff, the more they leaned into some of the Artemis stuff, I've enjoyed it. So, yeah, it's not just Wonder Woman Dead Earth. I think they just have a steep hill to climb because some of the last few Wonder Woman runs have been by, Greg Rucka. There you go. You have Greg Rucka to fight. You got Greg Rucka to fight on this. Not to mention, while I wasn't the hugest, absolute greatest fan of the New 52, I didn't entirely hate the Wonder Woman aspects of New 52. I actually rather enjoyed a good chunk of it. So there's also that. I can't pretend that those didn't exist either. What I do find interesting, though, is that, and once again, I still have to go back and kind of get into this, is whether or not this is going to be, I wonder if this will be anything like the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And if it is, I don't think that's bad company to be in. Before we talk about the Flash stuff, I do want to address, because you know what? This is an appropriate time, so we're going to go ahead and do it now. Jonathan Moda, by the way, big money, Gearless Moda, Gearless Mo, is back after his birthday weekend. We gave him a full 2 weeks for his birthday weekend. It says, just catching up and want to say hello to the cave and my respect to the host. By the way, 26 months in the diamond mine. Jesus. Also coming in with the maximum damage in Final Fantasy, which is appropriate because we do have, I think Final Fantasy 16 is fast approaching. We got John the Moto with a thank you. Also, is James Gunn wife the DCU Fury? I feel like she's like the Maria Hill. I feel like she's the Maria Hill. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
I like hardcore way more than fucking Maria Hill, bro.
Well, no. What I'm not saying like in terms of how much I like the character. I'm just saying in terms of what her role is. Okay. In terms of like, I think Amanda Waller is the Nick Fury of it all. I think Harcourt is the Maria Hill to that. And honestly, it's funny you say that too, Carter, because in a lot of ways, I do tend to like Maria Hill more than Nick Fury sometimes. Just because she's supposed to be the one that you're, I guess, supposed to be more easy to relate to, but at the same time, she's also up to some bullshit herself, but I feel like they do a better job of it with Harcourt than they do Maria Hill on the MCU side of things. That makes any sense. Also, I want to say real quick too, I was going to save this for later, but since Jonathan Moda is here and I know he's here right now, I want to go ahead and show this off because I just want to show how amazing of a community we have and the people in it and just how awesome they are. And Jonathan Moda hit your boy with a blessing. And it was something that I had talked about in hushed circles. It's something that had been on my mind. Some of you may know back when the Video Game Awards happened recently. This I think it was just this past a couple of months ago, or whatever. I was very interested in the idea of getting a Steam Deck.
Okay. Yeah.
And I even tried to win one because they were giving away like one every minute or whatever during the Steam Awards, or I mean the Video Game Awards, whatever.
I remember that.
Didn't get that. And I was just, man, I really want to get a Steam Deck, but I can't justify it to myself right now with all the stuff that's going on. Just my personal life as well as with the channel. I was like, I just can't justify it to myself.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if Jonathan Moda read my mind. He sent me an image of this device he had picked up. It was called the Aya Neo 2. Which in a lot of circles, and I actually was talking to another buddy of mine about this, and he was like, yeah, that's like I was like, yeah, I was reading about it. I'd never heard of this before. And I was like, I hear it's like a Steam Deck alternative. And yeah, and Carter knows I'm talking about our buddy, mutual buddy, GCG, Gold Cartridge Gamer.
Oh yeah.
He was like, nah, correction. He's like, that's a better version. He's like, that's a better version of a Steam Deck. And my mind was immediately blown. Because Jonathan was showing me just some of the stuff that he was able to do with, like, he was able to set up stuff, emulators, have his Steam games on there, all this, that, and a bunch of other things. He was showing me how he was modding it, changing out the hard drives and adding stuff to it, just completely customizing this bad boy. And when it happened, we're talking.
Are you about to stun on us right now? Is that what you about to do? You about to stun on us right now?
I'm about to put some respect on Jonathan Moda because I wasn't even in any way, shape, form, or fashion going to fix my mouth to be like, oh man, that's so cool. Wish I had one. I was like, no, I was like, dude, this is really awesome. I was like, dude, this is so cool. And then he was like, hey, you want one? And I was just like, I was like, I can't afford that right now. And he was like, nah, I got you. So he sent me.
Okay,
this,
then.
And it arrived. This arrived the day I came back from my trip.
Bruh.
And I have already been messing with this thing. Has 1 terabyte of storage in it.
Hey.
It is basically a handheld computer because it runs. I think it is running like Windows 11 or something close to it. And this thing is absolutely, positively off the hook. I've been able to play games on it that are. Oh man, I'm gonna turn it on. Y'all might. It's crazy. Like I was even. I was talking. Matter of fact, talking to our mutual friend, Gold Cartridge Gamer. And one of the things I brought up was, I was like, man, you know what I've been able to do? I've been able to play Cyberpunk on this thing. But now, Grant, I had to turn the settings down because, because it was Steam, it defaulted to, because I have a 3090 in this desktop, and I'm able to run that game at full everything. So when I tried to boot up Cyberpunk, I got a little sad because I was like, oh man, this game is running like dog shit on here. And then when I went to the options, I was like, oh, it's trying to run this shit like I'm on my main computer. So once I turned it down, I turned it to like medium. I was like, Now it still looked beautiful.
Y'all catch how he took time out of this entire Blerd Cave, just stunt on each and every one of y'all? Did y'all catch that? This ain't got shit to do about the comic. This ain't got nothing to do about the movie. He just want to take time. He masked it. Future mask off as giving big ups to Gearless Mo, and then he took the mask off real quick just to stunt.
Well, I mean, it's awesome though. This is awesome, and I want to put respect on Jonathan Motor for this, because I mean, he didn't have to do it, and he did it anyway. Right. He didn't have to do it, and he didn't just get me the thing, the device. He got me a bunch of other stuff to go with it too. So I was just like, it was basically just my way of saying, because it's one of those things where when people do nice stuff for me, and this isn't the only moment I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to bring up some other stuff a little later. Just nice things people have done for me that have legitimately, like, this shit brought tears to my eyes.
Crying,
like, because like, and I don't ever want to sound ungrateful, but I'm one of those people. Nothing is ever real to me until it happens.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And even then, I like, every time, Jonathan and I spoke, whenever we talked, he was just like, hey, you don't have to thank me for this. This, and that. It's like, nope, I'm gonna thank you every time I talk to you. I was like, get ready to be sick and tired of me saying thank you, because I'm gonna say it a lot. Because I never grew up like, quotey fingers, poor or not having anything, but I never got everything that I wanted. Not until I got older, when I could just buy the stuff myself, and it's one of those things. I'm just not used to people giving me things. So when I got it, I was already grateful, but when I actually saw it, I actually burst into tears. I will say that 100%. I'm kind of tearing up talking about it now. So I just want to say thank you. While I knew I had Jonathan's attention right now, so I wanted to make sure I said it. I don't. It's one of those things in light of some recent things I always tell people, and actually I forgot to do this. I'm a terrible person. I meant to actually have a moment of silence earlier at the beginning of the show for Lance Reddick, who recently passed away.
I'm still fucked up over that.
Yeah, no. Here's my thing, and I think, Carter, you and I say this a lot. Give motherfuckers their flowers while they are still here, because that was one of the things I saw people say, that, man, he was just starting to really like take off. Like, he's always been this kind of like, kind of cult favorite actor, and he was always that guy you knew from so many things. And it's like, man, I saw so many people say, man, I wish people, gave him his flowers while he was still here. Because, like, I knew him from, like, back when he was on Oz and The Wire. And then, finding out you've seen him later on, like, Fringe, and, like, just, going, on and on and on and on, just seeing him just slowly just start becoming a bigger name and everything. And it's one of those things, like, man, I wish that he really would have, like, gotten to see, all those flowers before he passed. And that's one of those things. So I'm really big on that. So I always want to make sure people know that I appreciate them before, I don't have the opportunity to say this. That's why that's why I say what I say. But just want to say thank you again, Jonathan. You are literally, like, you're the GOAT. Just period. not one of, just the. You're like the Batman.
Several
the
times.
The GOAT.
Several times.
So yeah.
Over.
But yeah, that I just want to take a moment to say I didn't mean to derail or anything, but yeah. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for that. Because I know it was not cheap. I know it was not cheap, and it was, and I guess that's another reason why I'm eternally grateful, because while I in my heart wanted I wanted so bad to get a Steam Deck, because and I guess that was some backstory I probably should put on that. I actually pre-ordered a Steam Deck back when they were first coming out, but I had to cancel it because some money issues came up, and I was really sad that I had to make some adult decisions, and I canceled it. And I was really salty about it. And I wanted to get, and when they started making it where they were more available, I wanted to get in one, but I was like, man, I can't justify it right now. And then I got something that honestly I discovered was better. And so it was one of those things, like, it was honestly like the perfect gift. And so yeah, thank you. Like I said, that's a matter of fact here. I'm dropping a bomb. I'm dropping the bomb for the homie Jonathan Moda out there. So y'all please put some respect. Put some respect on this man's name. Please and thank you. This dude has been so good to not just me, to Carter, to a lot of you here.
This as a whole.
Yes.
Just this as a whole.
Yes.
Gearless Mo been the man.
Oh yeah. Like I said, y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea.
Real.
But to get back to it though, we got another here from the homie LP3 with the $5 super chat, hooking us up. Says, what writer and or artist is in the lead for y'all so far? Many great stories being written in this first quarter. And I assume they're talking about like just in general.
Oh man. Okay. Well, he said first quarter.
Oh well, yeah. Just in this first quarter of the year so far, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's tough. Ooh. That is tough. That is tough. Oh man,
because you all have to remember. I think a lot of you all might be thinking about it from a Marvel or a DC's perspective. We got to think about it from a Marvel, DC, Image, Valiant, AWA, Aftershock, boom. Like, I'm not answering that question.
Man, okay, you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll say. Right now. Oh man.
Exactly.
I got. It's gonna sound like I'm being a Marvel shill. I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, just because this man is doing stuff everywhere. Dude, Kieran Gillen is writing his ass off right now. Because a lot of people all need to understand, this dude is not just writing one book. This dude's writing several right now. And he has been writing several for the last little bit. So I'm gonna tip my hat to Kieran Gillen right now. But I will also be tipping my hat to Joshua Williamson. I'll also be tipping my hat to Rodney Barnes out here. Just putting out good work consistently. There's a lot of good stuff out there. But yeah, art, man, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who to give it to there, because it's a lot of good art out there. But yeah, I can't even say, cannot say it. We also got another here for our homie Gearless Mo with a 1999 super chat. Says, don't mention, the point was to allow you a way to game without being in that seat. Enjoy. And okay, so you know how you know what I always tell people? The best gift givers and the best gifts are the gifts that when they're given to you, or the person who gives it to you, you can tell they were listening to something that you said, something that like seemed incredibly innocuous, something that was such a throwaway statement, and someone heard what you said, they committed it to memory, and they got you a gift based around something that you asked for. Like, that maybe you didn't even ask them for, just something that you mentioned. And that is something I've actually mentioned. I've mentioned it on the show. I've mentioned it multiple times, just elsewhere and around. I've said that, yeah, man, I'm trying to get away from my computer as much. I'm not just sitting here all the time and trying to be less sedentary, like, and, maybe even get to hang out in the living room with my family sometimes, but still be able to play certain games I want to play, because usually if I'm at my computer, I'm working.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of those things. That's why that is, like I said, it's the type of gift giver that I like to be. That when I give someone a gift, it's something that's like, dude, I've always wanted this, and I can't believe you remembered. That's the kind of, so that's, once again, look, just bow down. I'm bowing down, because that's like I said, that's the man right there. We also got BS Filter with a $5 super chat. Says, God bless everyone in this chat, along with your families and friends. Show your appreciation to those you like and love. And that is a house motto. That's a house motto right there. So I always say, and I think it's why a lot of times I always try and make sure that I remind everyone how much I appreciate everything y'all do. Just being here, all that good stuff. It just, That said, we still got some things to talk about, so I want to make sure we get through them. I don't want to lose any of these in translation. Some of these we can get through real quick. Like I said, we got Wonder Woman with the relaunch. We've also got Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, 100-yard dash with new create team. This is the one I think is actually the more interesting one, Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That cover interesting, goddamn.
Yeah, right? But no, the DC... the Dawn of DC initiative will also be bringing in a brand new Flash relaunch, which, by the way, Flash number 800 will be coming out soon, June 6th. And this is going to be a celebration of Wally West. Finally, getting some respect put on his goddamn name. Well, we also know that once this run is wrapped up, with the Flash, with Jeremy Adams and Fernando Pasarin, when they end their run with Flash number 800, Cy Spurrier and Mike Deodato Jr. are going to be taking over the series.
Wow.
So we don't know what this means for the Flash going forward.
Okay, then.
I think as of late, Wally West has kind of been the guy as of late.
Yeah.
Whether that continues is another story altogether. We don't really have any other details beyond that, but that's a lights out creative team right there. You will have me back reading, and not to say that I don't normally read the Flash. Flash is actually one of my favorite characters from DC, and was a character I religiously read at the beginning of DC Rebirth. I kind of fell off shortly towards the end of Joshua Williamson's run. Not because I didn't like it, just because there was so much stuff going on. But I did enjoy it. Especially with how much of a fan I've become of Cy Spurrier as of late. With
You're welcome.
Well, yes, thank you. But yeah, I've become a huge fan of Cy Spurrier as of late, so I'm very interested to see how weird, wacky, and off the wall his Flash is going to be. If his Legion is anything to go by, if his Way of X, his Legion of X, his Nightcrawlers, if any of that is anything to go by, I think Flash is about to get really weird here very soon. So I'm into it. Carter, what do you think? What do you think about a Cy Spurrier-led Flash is based on your familiarity with him?
I haven't read a Flash book since New 52, and that was the Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato run, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Those are two names I would not think about when it came to a Flash book. Cy Spurrier, especially, but Mike Deodato, he's been such a Marvel constant for so long. Seeing him do the Flash and all the characters in that realm is I'm still shocked when you just said those two names.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
not gonna lie to you.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know.
This book is getting read. I'll say that.
Oh,
I will
no,
say that
100.
I'm picking up a Flash book now.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I got nothing else. You know what? No, since this was the individual that everyone will tout as giving Norman Osborn waves, because they were more defined under Mike Deodato. I wonder who getting waves in the Flash book, big dog.
Bruh, watch Wally pull that. Dude, if Wally pulled that mask off.
You said,
wait,
Mike Deodato Jr. is almost Greg Land level? I don't know what dick you are smoking, but quit it.
Well, no, I know what they're talking about.
Immediately.
It's because he uses he uses like references and models. But I mean, I'll be honest with you. That doesn't bother me. Okay, Greg Land's one thing. It's one thing when you're using porn star O-faces as your references for characters. It's another thing.
It's not even that though. All Greg Land's You from Blue Marvel
Mhm.
to Beast to Luke.
All
From
his
Cap-
men look the same.
no, nope,
All
nope. From Captain Marvel to Tiana Parrish
Oh well,
Spectrum.
yeah. Oh yeah,
All
they
the
all look the
motherfuckers
same.
look the same.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Okay, not all of his men look the same. They all fit the same style. They all cut a similar figure. It's the faces. It's the faces of the women that all look the same. So, yeah.
Everybody looks the same. If you gave Greg Land an art book right now and you put you, me, and your boy Robo Strange, a whole ass Hawaiian in a chairs together, like this was goddamn Split, we all
would
gonna
all
look
look
like
the same.
we all look like we dog.
No, we'll all look the same. Well, no, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. So with
Lord.
what you're saying, it's the same criticism. The criticism of Greg Land, it's the same criticism I laid at Jim Lee's feet, because all his women look the same. Like, if you look at them in the face, they all look the same. They all look Asian, which, to be fair, Jim Lee is Asian. I can't even hate on that. It's why Storm looks Asian. It's why every white woman in his comics look Asian. It's just something I've come to accept. It's one of those deals where, as much as I like to clown Greg Land, honestly, some of my favorite books have him as an artist. So I'm not going to give him too much of a hard time. But
The reason you like those fucking books is
the
because
writer.
you can ignore everybody that watches this, listens to this, has had a ugly ass book that they read because the writing was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
No, sir. You could put Sal from Comic Pop and Comics Explained in the same goddamn room. Greg Land finna have 2 Robs on that goddamn paper. Stop it. Stop it. He's like hack. He is horrible.
Yeah.
And plus, Mike Diodato, he ain't tracing shit like Greg Land is.
No.
According to Greg Land, this gonna be 2 me's right here if I tell him to draw it.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Well, and not only that, I've read books with Mike Diodato Jr.'s art that I've enjoyed. And not just because of the writing, but also because of his art. So I mean, I'm not gonna clown him on that. I will clown him about his dumbass opinions about Tenoch Huerta as Namor and
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't give a fuck about the rest of that.
That's why his ass doing DC books.
Yeah, Marvel said, "Get your ass up out of here."
I forgot about that.
Let's do we got wait. We got another one. We got another one from the homie here. We got some super chats here I want to hit before we get too far off in the weeds. We got one from Nick D. Says, "Yo, just waking up, so I'm gonna watch from the beginning. Ernie, I'm gonna send you Carter's gift on Monday. Carter, thoughts on Street Fighter 6? Will you play it when it comes out in June?"
Yes, I am actually really, really excited for Street Fighter 6. I haven't been this excited for a Street Fighter since 3, because I didn't really vibe with 4 like that. 4 I think was a little bit overly technical.
Isn't 6 still like what's they call an interquel?
What the hell is that, Ernie Carruthers?
So like Street Fighter 3 is supposed to be the end of the line, right?
Got you. Okay, I got you.
Like, yeah. So like,
No,
you know,
no.
so like
So
4,
they stopped- so
4,
5
5, and 6, or 5 was
after-
supposed to be. Wait.
No, so you said it right the first time.
Okay.
5 takes place after. No. 5 takes place before 3.
Right. That's what I was saying. Yeah. What about 6? Is 6 before or after 3?
It looks like 6 might be. Let me see. I think 6 is going to be after, because technically 4 was after 3.
What? Okay. Yeah. I can't keep. See, this is why Capcom don't know how to count.
So okay, let me do it like this.
Capcom don't know how to count.
Okay, let's do it for you like this. But let me answer your question. Yes, I'm gonna play Street Fighter 6. I'm actually one of those horrible people that have the crack. But it goes alpha 1, 2, 3,
Right.
5, 4, and I think 6.
Okay. Yeah. Because I see Banky's Yeah, it says 6 takes place after all of them. Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Banky and
So 6 is
Third Year Regime.
legit the sequel.
Yeah. Dude, I remember I used to be so deep off into Alpha. God, I used to be so deep off into Alpha. Lord.
If we really wanted to be a dickhead about it, we could say Alpha 1.
Yeah. 2.
Final fight.
Final fight. Yeah.
2, 3.
Oh my God. Dude, why is Cody still in jail? I just have questions. Is Cody still in prison?
You late. Cody the mayor.
Oh, he's the mayor now? Oh, okay. Let's go.
Yeah,
that shows you where I've been. That shows you where I've been.
Yeah, Hagar helped him become the mayor. He has the mayoral drip on in 5 because Kenny Omega did the live action trailer for him.
Wait a minute. Was Cody released after the game came out?
Yeah.
Was he like a DLC character?
Yeah, he was one of the
That's why, because I stopped playing before that character came out. That's why.
But yes, Nick D, I do plan on playing Street Fighter 6. Some of you all may have seen a few of my like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning Guilty Gear Strive streams on YouTube a couple times. But yeah, man, I'm really excited about Street Fighter 6. I'm hoping that Marissa, who all of my friends are telling me, yeah, that's gonna be your character. I'm hoping Marissa is good, but I also want to play with the Queen of the Feet. I want to play with Juri.
Oh yeah, dude, Juri and Cammy might be where it's at for me. I don't know. That might be where it's at for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just like I was actually joking with. Once again, GCG comes up again. That was the thing I was actually making fun of with GCG about about Capcom. We had a late night Discord conversation about it because we were talking about the Resident Evil 4 demo, and then that kind of led to us talking about what Capcom does and doesn't do. And that was one of the things we were talking about. We were like, man, Capcom don't know how to count because like Street Fighter, they'd be like, yeah, Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 6, 2, 4. Capcom did not get a good education when it comes to counting.
But one thing I can say about both Ernie and myself, because I see you all asking about like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I think we both played it, but it's more so just because we're from the South and we have to like Tekken by default.
Yeah. Yeah, that is sad.
And
that's a sad truth.
one, yes, I own Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha, and I was really excited to play that game, but I was bamboozled because the character select screen has some really good hand-drawn art, and then you get to your matches, and it's nasty trying to beat Tekken 3D sprites. It was terrible. And that's that was those Akira Street Fighter games. Those were good. Those were good nasty.
Yeah, that was, dude, EX Plus Alpha was something. That was something. We also got, by the way, Nick D, thank you for that. 2000 party over, oops, out of time. Dun, 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 super chat. Thank you for that. We got 2's the one with the 18 months in the Blerd Club. Silvermine says, Wallace getting the waves. Did y'all read DC Power? Yes, I did. And I think I talked about this when we talked about it before, but not only the waves, but I also like the fact that we got to see an actual DAP. Like, we got to see, like, an actual DAP in a comic that was, like, legit. It was very good, very good. Also, one of my homies, a friend of the channel, wrote that issue, or that story in there. We also got another one from Nick D with the $10, says, I wish they would release Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the Switch. They have not put that on the Switch yet?
You know it's bad. Because that shit is on 3DS. Because I had it.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't. Okay. So I have. What was it that I got on for Street Fighter on the Switch?
You probably got one of those collections that had a bunch of.
That's what it is. That's what. Yeah. That's what it is. And I have Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PlayStation. Is what I have. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Also, you know what? This is just how it's gonna be. We're just gonna go ahead and do it. Poe Archery Media with the $5 super chat says just pass it through to show love, bless up, Blur, Koa, and the Cave. And you know what? Let's take a moment because I said I was gonna save it, but you know what? This came up organically.
Okay.
So your boy got 2 pieces of art from your homie, Poe Archery Media, aka Antoine Ghost Mitchell, aka he, the creator of Sankofa's Embrace, a.k.a. he who has also been on the show before. Y'all show some love, please. But he made a piece that he gifted to me. He actually did 2 pieces that he gifted to me. And I was not ready. We talked about earlier how when I get things, I have a tendency to cry.
Mm-hmm.
So your boy, Antoine, hooked me up with 2 pieces of art. One of them, and actually, no, here, I'm going to give myself the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to show these off. So, here we go. First, actually, I want to show this one off first, because this is the sweetest one.
Okay.
So, I hope y'all can see this. But right here, he gave me this. Because he knows I'm a father. I have a little girl who is encroaching upon 8 years old. He sent me this. And it was... And I think it actually says here on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see this. Here on the bottom, it says, for a dope dad. And I was like, dude, thank you. Like, and that brought a, because it's one of those things. Being a parent is something that I never knew I would ever be. And because of my own experiences with my own father, and just, won't get any of that there. I was always worried I wouldn't be a good father. And for people to recognize what you do, it was very heartwarming.
Yeah,
And
I figured
then
that's what that. I figured that's what that picture was alluding to. Like, pull it. Can you show it again real quick?
Here you go. Here, let me.
Because that's actually really dope. But you ain't never had that much hair on your head in life.
Oh no, God no. Like, there's a picture of me out there circulating somewhere where I had like purple hair. Even then I still didn't have that much.
Find it. Do you hear me, Blerd? I swear to God, find it. Y'all find it. Please find it.
There's an ex-girlfriend of mine who I think has it somewhere.
Oh my God. See, and I thought I did something. I found those old Dragon Crown streams of yours, you freak. I thought I did something. I found those on YouTube. Purple hair? Yeah.
Actually, I had purple and blue hair.
Yeah,
and I think at one point I had red. But here, I'm gonna give myself the one again because we got another one here.
Is that Gus Fring?
Mm-hmm, that is.
Oh, I get the...
when everybody's talking about, Giancarlo Esposito was talking about him being Charles Xavier.
I get the reference now.
He hooked me up with this little bad boy. And it is so beautiful. With him in the full body suit from House of X, rocking the new school Cerebro. It is... This is everything, right? Look at that. Look at that detail. Y'all go put some respect on my homie Antoine Ghost Mitchell over there. Y'all are please gonna put some respect on this man's name. But no, here, let's see. But yeah, if y'all haven't done so yet, I know some memories may be short. But yeah, if y'all have time, please go check out my homie Antoine Ghost Mitchell, man. This dude is a fantastic artist, fantastic writer. Like I say, he's been on the show before. Go check out Sankofa's Embrace, please and thank you. It's a fantastic comic. That also, I see someone here bringing up early hacked Street Fighter Champion Edition. Do you remember the old bowling alley Street Fighters?
Yeah.
Like where motherfuckers throwing like 20 Hadoukens in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we used to play that shit at the bowling.
Oh
shit
my
was so
God!
busted.
Yes,
like you would,
yes.
And like, it would just be like you would do the Hadouken, and not only would the 20 Hadoukens come out, but they would be like bouncing up and down, so you couldn't dodge the motherfuckers. You was getting hit. Like Chun-Li is doing the little lightning kick at your ass, like from halfway across the screen, like she Dhalsim. But yeah, we got another one here. Jonathan Moda with a 1999 super chat says Skull O Dream. Also, Tekken 8 looks awesome.
You're a Skello player, huh? Oh Lord.
Hey, look, that's a motherfucker you want to mess with.
Tekken 8 does look good. I've always been a Paul player when it came to Tekken, so seeing him on this new Tekken with the back body drop, I said, yeah, okay, I'm still gonna stay with Paul.
Oh yeah, 100%. Let's you know what? Let's go ahead and do, because we got one last thing. I don't want to cut this because it's actually something pretty profound. We got Steel, y'all. Steel and Jon Stewart, Green Lantern Jon Stewart, getting books this year as part of the Dawn of DC initiative. The funny thing is that I knew about the Steel one. I knew about it for a while. But I found out about it shortly after I finished the editing, or the recording rather, for the Steel videos that I put out, which I actually completed editing on those like a ways back. But Steel is getting a new book. It's actually going to focus on both versions of Steel, both John Henry Irons and Natasha Irons. It's going to be called Steel Works.
Okay.
Which is in reference to the company that was founded. It's actually, I think it's a company he's founded on more than one occasion. But it's a new company that's been set up in Metropolis, where there's a lot going on. But the main takeaway here is who is writing the book. Carter, do you know who's writing this book?
I don't. Don't you do it to me. I'm scared. Who?
Actor Michael Dorn, who those of you who may or may not know, his biggest claim to fame is Worf from Star Trek. But okay, now Carter, I want to put you at ease. The reason why he is writing this book is not just because of his star power from Star Trek. It's also because Michael Dorn was also the voice actor for Steel on The Adventures of Superman, the animated series. So if anyone would have any insight into the mind of Steel, it'd be this guy. Not to mention, he is a well, I don't think I've ever read anything written by him before. He does actually write. So I'm willing to give him a chance here. But the book, from what I understand, will also have artist Sammy Basri on it, who I don't believe I'm familiar with. But I'm interested. I'm definitely interested. So yeah, there you go.
This will be good for the people that only know about Steel having a daughter or anything like that from the Superman and Lois, the TV series.
Yes.
So this will be good for those people that want more of that character.
Mm-hmm. I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. So I would think that let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm into this. I definitely am into this. I'm more interested just to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything else. We also got another one, Carter. We can't forget about the Green Lantern Jon Stewart series is going to be coming out. Now, this is going to be by writer Philip Kennedy Johnson. Those of you who are familiar with that name, you will probably recognize from what was a pretty amazing run on Action Comics.
Yeah, that War World saga was off the chain.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, a lot of you know he recently did an interview with Comic Book Resources, and said in talks about his new series, which by the way, he also had to clear up some stuff too, because there were some misconceptions out there. Because there's a Hal Jordan Green Lantern book coming out, which confused people, because there was talk about a Jon Stewart book coming out, and then there was talk about a backup story in the Hal Jordan Green Lantern comics. Well, here's where we're going to put a lot of this to bed. He put out this tweet that basically said that he was jumping on to correct a misconception that sprang up today. The upcoming Hal Jordan-focused Green Lantern series will feature a Jon Stewart backup story, but the backup is a prelude to our Jon Stewart-focused series later this year. He is going to be writing the backups that are in the Hal Jordan Green Lantern series, as well as the full Jon Stewart series. So he's going to be writing both of these. And I want to put something out here. And I think, Carter, you'll appreciate this, as I think a lot of other people watching this will appreciate, especially those who are fans of Jon Stewart like myself. Jon Stewart, as Johnson pointed out in his interview with CBR, said that Jon Stewart is too often painted as a little one note, in my opinion. Sometimes he just comes off like he spits out military jargon. I get it. You're writing a team book. You gotta give everyone little lines like, how do I make this feel like this person? Superman is hopeful, Diana's peaceful. Batman scowls. Flash is fast and quippy. And Jon Stewart used to be a Marine. He says, I want to see more of that. And he goes on to say that I see Jon as the architect. That he is that he was in the beginning. And the person who gives their life for the greater good, the thing larger than himself. His being a Marine was part of that, but he's the consummate Lantern. The one who always should have been a Lantern, not just with his military background, but with his brilliant architect's mind that has been fettered by the concept of three-dimensional space. He's no longer fettered. He's the perfect Lantern now. So I'm telling the story of Jon Stewart that is meant to feel like mythology. I'm telling the story of a Greek god who became a man. Which, that's actually pretty big shit. That's actually pretty big shit, I think.
To go from just looking at your spelling here, to go from the Daily Show to being a Greek god is something serious. Bill, you actually made a funny when you said that. Thank you, Bill. You actually didn't ask a long-winded question this week. You actually just tried to clown Ernie a little bit. I respect it. The most recent Jon Stewart thing that I've read, he had become so powerful, he could have two versions of himself running around with rings.
Yeah. He went was an Emerald Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that's also a thing. Yeah, no, I'm interested.
Does this feel like maybe you can absolutely tell me that I'm reaching, and so can everyone that listens to this.
Okay.
Do you feel like with everything that was just said, maybe DC is trying to get their own Green Marvel?
Well, there are some similarities between the two characters. Both being Marines. Both being able to create hard light constructs. Both of them being some of the most powerful black people in their respective imprints. I don't know. I just hope that whatever happens at the end of the day, it ends with Jon Stewart having more respect put on his name. That's what I want. That is what I want to see. That's what I need. That's what I need to see. That's what I desire to see. I
think we're at a point now where we have enough fantastic Hal Jordan stories, but because you have made so many different Green Lanterns, you need to start doing books to where you're giving them the respect and giving them. There needs to be a reason they were made Green Lanterns in the first place. Correct. And I feel like if you're not going to just get rid of them, start focusing on them. So after this I would love for this to be the definitive. You want to know about some Jon Stewart? Go read this. Next, then you can go to Simon Baz, who I think we all know the real reason Simon Baz was put into the fucking DC books. Then you have old girl that was originally the evil Green Lantern that had the evil Green Lantern ring from Earth 2.
Yeah, the power ring.
There you go. You have her. You have I can't even say anything about Sojourn because she had her book. So yeah, I just think I'm really hoping that this is like the definitive. So when people bring up Hal Jordan, you can bring up these books. People bring up Jon Stewart. Hopefully, this will be one of the first ones that gets brought up. That's what I really want to see from this book. So I'm excited to read it. Philip Kennedy Johnson got a lot of good faith from me from that world stuff for Superman and some of the Authority. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this. So DC, I got my eye on some DC stuff now. You all might actually start getting some videos out of me with this Flash and Jon Stewart stuff, as long as you people actually watch them. But then if Ernie do the video, oh my God, this video is great. Why ain't nobody else doing these videos? Like I ain't just do one like 3-4 days before Ernie did. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I will definitely say that I like Philip Kennedy Johnson as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in this. You know what I want to see the return of, Carter? I want to see the return. I want to see the return of this. I want to see this Jon Stewart. I want to see that Jon Stewart that got the scope out.
Hey, now everybody gave Simon Bass flack because that boy had the lantern ring with the pistol.
Right.
I remember those solicits. I cracked up. I'm like, bro, why are the green letters strapped?
That man said, "Look, I'm out here." he's like, I'm out here. All right.
Why do people of color strapped, dog?
Hey, he said, I keep that thing on me. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Well, I mean, look, man. If it was gonna be anybody, right? If it was gonna be anybody. You know, like I still remember. You remember like this right here? He had like the damn cable guns. He had damn cable guns out here, like, bruh.
Why y'all got the colored folks so strapped in DC, dog?
Look, wait a minute, what about here? Let me see if I can zoom this out a little bit so I can like this right here, where it's like, bruh.
Look at that. This man that made the Kraber from Apex Legends. Like, come on, bro.
Wait a minute, wait. Look, John keep the heat on him. You know what I mean? He keep the heat on him. Look, look, look. When they wasn't trying to make it. Wait, I think this might even be one right here. Hold on. Yep, look, got another one. Look at it. Look, let me just be real with y'all, man. Jon Stewart don't play, okay? Jon Stewart does not play. Don't fuck with that man. He stays strapped. All right. Anyway, but no. Let's. I'm definitely excited for the future of DC.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited for the future of DC. So, yeah, I can't say that I'm not. I definitely am. We're gonna get into some recommendations. I'm gonna be real quick with mine because we're getting short on time.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just gonna pull this out, hold it up.
Ugh.
Bitterroot,
hey.
Go read it. Go read it. This is I love how it says Omnibus Book 1. This is everything that has come out so far of Bitterroot. This is the entire run of Bitterroot so far. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yep. 1 through 15. 1 through 15. And it's great. This is great. This is a hardcover omnibus, by the way. This is shit is fire. But anyway, I got this in the mail right before. Actually, I'm gonna sit up here like this because everything will fall the fuck down. But no, it came in right before, and yeah, I'm super happy about it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Carter, what you got?
Wolverine number 37 just came out this week.
31.
Oh, what'd I say?
37.
Thank you. It's volume 731.
Volume 7, yes. That there you go. There you go.
Hank McCoy.
That's
all I'll say. That's all you gotta say. Hank McCoy.
Hank McCoy. Look, Hank McCoy. Now, look, the real McCoy.
Not Lisa Ray. Hank McCoy.
Look, that motherfucker is out here right now. Look, I just look. I didn't know Kelsey Grammer was that wild.
But Ernie, I said Dog, I said Hank McCoy and my phone tried to power off. The Samsung Galaxies is scared of this motherfucker. All I said was Hank McCoy and my phone tried to power off.
That mother said, "Nah, man. You see what that motherfucker been out here doing lately? Nah, man. Cut this shit off." Let's go ahead and get to our questions. Let's see here. Let's bam. But before we do, because I don't want to lose this one either, and it's kind of close to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Chi-Town Dan, the Night Skin King with the $10 super chat, says, showing love for the cave and Blerd Koa, having a proud day moment as my youngest boy, the Night Skin Prince, is a semi-finalist in the August Wilson New Voices competition for set design. Hashtag proud dad. Dude, congratulations on that. And dude, that's big news. That's big news. So nothing but big energy. You know, nothing but love, proud vibes, everything coming you and yours' way. And like I said, I will be just, keeping fingers and toes crossed and just hoping, he pulls it all out. Just takes the whole thing.
God.
Take the whole thing. Take it. Take the whole show. Carter, you are nasty. Nasty boy. Anyway, moving on. We've also got LL Melvin with the $2 super chat. Says, show Carter some love, god damn it. Hey, look, man, Carter deserves it. He deserves it.
I don't like that you knew.
I'm just saying. Tubes of One with the $2 super chat says, John keeps everything on him. Dude, he does. That dude's strapped, man. Dude, Jon Stewart is gutter, y'all. Y'all just don't know.
You don't just keep that thing on him. He keep everything on him.
Look, like all of them. 11 of them. We got, let's see here. Where is there it is. First off, let's get to these. We got the homie Melvis. His first thing first, rest in peace, Lance Reddick and Bobby Caldwell. Welcome back from your trip from Mexico. Nice tan. Also, did you bring back some yayo? We're gonna talk about that. He said, "Don't answer now." Says, let me get to the question. If there's an album that would fit perfectly with your favorite comic or graphic novel, what are you picking? Peace. And get those likes up, people. Oh, an album that fit with my favorite comic. I tell you what, there is a comic. And I don't know how well this would actually fit from a thematic standpoint, but I think I was reading this while I was listening. I was reading through the Donny Cates run of Thor one day. I was sitting in my car, waiting for, once again, all roads lead back to GCG. This is back when Donny Cates was still good and into the book. My buddy GCG, he was me and him went half and half on a double pack of Pokemon. What was it? Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Because it was cheaper. And so we went halvesies on it. So I went to go meet him at Best Buy to go pick it up. And while I was waiting for him to show up, I was like, let me read some Thor while I'm sitting here. And I was sitting in my car, and I forget which album. I don't remember which album it was. But I was listening to a band by the name of Soilwork. And which album was it? Which album? I'm looking it up right now to see what the album was. It was it's the only album it could have been, because it was the only album I hadn't listened to. It was around roughly it is, pardon my pronunciation. Or no, I think I have it right. It was I think it's Verkligheten or Verkligheten or something like that. Something along those lines. Basically, translation, the reality. I was listening to that album while I was reading the book, and just because of the fact that Soilwork is they're a Swedish melodic death metal band, so definitely there's some similarities in tone, and it just kind of fit, and it worked. It worked really well. So there you go. That was that's my pick.
Okay.
Carter, you got one?
Nope.
I'm not even gonna try. We got one from Q Dome here. Says, here's a question: do you think if James Gunn did a story on the Beyonder, would he have him looking like Michael Jackson? I think he could pull it off myself. It would be funny yet interesting to see. I don't know if he would do it, but I would be mad at him if he did, because I've just always thought that the Beyonder looked like Michael Jackson for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. It's the shoulder pads. He looks like Captain EO. Christ.
This next question is hard.
Urban Prince Strong says, good evening, my beautiful brothers. Good to see y'all again. My question of today is, if Do a Powerbomb would get a live action series, who would you cast in that series?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
Lord.
Because I'm not going to lie, my natural inclination would be to cast actual wrestlers.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to see a goddamn single, solitary, regular-ass Hollywood actor in that movie. I wouldn't want to see none but actual wrestlers. But you know what? As far as the mother, it's going to sound really, like, stereotypical.
Uh-oh.
But I would say Asuka. I'd want to see Asuka from WWE play the mother.
Okay.
As far as Cobra Steel, or was it Cobra Sun?
Yeah.
Because Cobra Steel is the name of the duo. But yeah, Cobra Sun. That's tough. That one's tough. I honestly don't know who I would get. It'd have to be somebody that could do flippy shit. But also be convincingly strong.
Matt Hardy.
This motherfucker right here.
I'm sorry.
Get out of my face with that shit. Actually, I tell you what. Can we get what was it? What was it? The Knights? I forget the name of their tag team. Can we get FTR? The Revival, can we get them to come down and play them?
Oh, God.
I don't know who would play the orangutan and the
chimpanzee. FDR shit.
Look, they all doing the devastation device. but no, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, man. That's a very tough one. But I would definitely say I would want Asuka to be the mother. I would say that. That's all I would say. Maybe get like oh man, yeah, that's a tough one. That's too tough. That is too tough. Let's see. Let's get into we'll answer some questions real quick from the chat, and then we'll get at it because we're encroaching on 3 hours. Let's see here. Jesse Smith says, would you watch a Justice League version of an Aliens movie? Like a Justice League version of the Aliens movie. You know what? Honestly, yeah, sure. I mean, I love Aliens. I was actually watching it the other day, oddly enough. But if you just replaced all the Marines with like members of the Justice League, yeah, sure. But you have to put. But here's the catch: there would have to be deaths. Like it would have to be like. They'd have to die. Like, there'd have to be characters that died.
You had to see somebody catch it. Hey, real quick, I just want to go back just for one second. Because Elite X1 just brought up a good question about that Do a Powerbomb live action. Who would you cast as God?
Ooh.
I completely forgot about that.
Okay, so you know what? Oh, man. I would be mean as fuck and say Chris Jericho is the voice of God. But no, I wouldn't do that to y'all. Honestly, yeah, if I'm being I'm not bullshitting here when I say this. Okay. Had he not passed away, I would want the voice of God to have been Lance Reddick.
Oh.
But had he not passed away. But let's see here. Yeah, Michael Jai White. He could do it, maybe. Only reason I would sanction it is just because he actually can do the stuff. Like, he would actually be able to do, the stuff necessary to make it look convincing. Let's see here. Where is Jerome says, question, with Professor X and Beast being despicable characters around the time of House of M, if not sooner, how were they written back in the 80s and 90s? Honestly,
that's a you question. Yeah, that's a you question.
Beast used to be written as kind of an affable character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had his moments, but he was never like a complete and total asshole that I remember. I mean, he was just always kind of there. Charles was written to be not necessarily a terrible person outwardly. He was one of those types of people that, like, he would just say things every now and again that would make you go, ugh. But when it came down to, like, his personality, I mean, all in all, he was generally, I won't say a likable person, but you could just tell he was a leader. He was a guy who knew what he wanted. He knew how to inspire people, whether it was negatively or positively. But in the end, I think other writers, as they've gotten, people who grew up with those stories, kind of saw the subtle subtext of it all. And that's why we have the characters the way they are now, because there were some instances from time to time where Beast could be a bit of an asshole, but he was never, like, evil about it. Yeah. But now you just take those things and you push them forward.
That's why I made the tweet that I made this week when Wolverine came out about him being the lovable blue furball, because that's what he was in the 90s. That was all he was in the 90s. That's why I like this Wolverine X-Force shit so much, just because it's so different from the Hank McCoy that you've seen before. And I love when writers are allowed to take chances like this, because this is not the Hank McCoy you remember from the cartoon at all. This is not the Hank McCoy from the movies at all. So it's just, I really like that, because he was literally just a hairy blue nerd.
Hell, I was even going back as far as when he was still just a big ass white dude. Back when his mutant power was that he had big hands and feet.
He was the dude that has the really attractive female friends that they loved him to death, but he never got any play from them. That was Hank McCoy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. A part of me does wonder if we'll ever get a return. I mean, we technically did when Bendis did the whole
all new stuff.
Yeah, but I always wonder if ever one day we will get Hank McCoy. Dude, you know what? That would be such a fitting end to this. Just based on everything we saw in Wolverine 31. What if Beast's punishment was to be hit with that mutant power nullifier that Moira got hit with? And what if that dude just turned back into being just a big-ass white dude? That would be hilarious to me. And then they threw him in the hole. Let's see here. Let's see. The Elite X1 says, by the way, if you haven't, you might want to check out the Korean action film Project Wolf Hunting. It's Con Air meets Predator. You had me right there.
That sounds outrageous.
It does, actually. It does. Frantic World says, hey guys, would you like to see a James Gunn, or would you like to see James Gunn make a Constantine and Justice League War film? I would like to see him do Constantine. As far as like Justice League War style thing, I think he could do it. I don't know if I'd want to see him specifically make it, if that makes any sense.
Constantine, no. Justice League War film, honestly, this goes back to me being salty at what he's naming this first phase of his DCU stuff of Gods and Monsters. I think if he was doing like a Justice League Gods and Monsters, like the animated characters war style movie, absolutely. Absolutely. But just regular Justice League, no, I don't want to see him do either of those.
Melman says, with the popularity of comic book movies for like a decade now, why do you think we haven't gotten more Incredible / Megamind style 3D cartoons? I think honestly, whoa, go ahead. I think you might actually have the correct answer.
No, I was just gonna say, because I think those are extremely fucking expensive.
They are. I also think that the reason is because it's hard to catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Mm-hmm.
Think about Incredibles. Incredibles 1, amazing movie. Incredibles 2, I also think is a very amazing film, but people didn't like it as much as the first one because they felt that it wasn't kind of like, it's the same reason I think people don't like Avengers Age of Ultron is because it didn't do anything to reinvent the wheel. It was just, oh, you liked Avengers. Here's more Avengers. And that's what Incredibles was. Or Incredibles 2 was. It was, hey, you really liked Incredibles? Guess what? Here's more Incredibles. And I think people just wanted more. And I think it's just easier to let those... Even Megamind, which I actually thought was a really cool movie. I'm surprised more people don't talk about it. It's a great movie. Doesn't really have anything else to follow up, but it might be for the best. Because honestly, I don't know if you could catch that lightning in a bottle a second time. But I do feel like there should be more movies like them. Like, even if you don't do sequels, just do more movies like them. Like, do movies that are original properties but are set in the realm of superheroes. Like, I mean, say what you will about the movie Sky High, the live-action movie with Kurt Russell. While that movie is goofy, actually, I always thought it was kind of entertaining. I was like, dude, I actually like stuff like this where there's something superhero-related, but it's not based on anything. Kind of like Hancock. It's a superhero movie, but it's not based on anything. And your mileage for those movies and those TV shows are going to vary, but I do personally think, there should be more of them. But, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think, I will say the reason why you probably don't see him now is because I think people are scared that they're going to put something out and people won't like it. Or that people will be like, oh, no, we'll just wait for the next Marvel movie or the next DC movie. Hell, there's Marvel movies and DC movies that come out that people don't even realize are Marvel movies. And I think actually it's more so with DC than it is with Marvel nowadays. But yeah, I think that's just kind of the thing. People just like, because hell, there's still people who are only just now learning Blade was a comic book. I still run into people who think that when Blade came out, it was original, that it was not based on a comic, even though it had big ass shit talking about, hey, Marvel. Let's see here. We'll answer a couple more that we're gonna get out, because we're gonna try and do it quick. Bill says, "What's your takeaways from the interviews at the?" Okay, so you know what? I didn't actually go back and watch any of this, so I can't even answer the question. But I will say, it says, glad means we're getting more new story arcs with Negasonic Teenage Warhead and the unofficial X-Men on Marvel Unlimited. More X-Men isn't a bad thing, so I'll just go with that.
I'll keep it with the X-Men then. From JD Brothers, if you went to the Hellfire Gala in San Diego, would you wear cosplay or dress in your own flat outfit like the Oscars or the Grammys? Good question.
I wouldn't cosplay. I would actually dress up.
Okay.
I would actually dress up. Nothing too crazy, because I would only be able to wear it for so long before I would get too hot or too uncomfortable and have to get in my typical jeans and t-shirt. I'm a jeans and t-shirt guy through and through. Have been for a long time. Yes, this isn't so much a question, but I do want to point this out. Dex point out that the masses still don't realize Men in Black was a comic, let alone owned by Marvel. People forget about that. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Aren't they making a new Constantine with Keanu Reeves? I believe it was canceled. I believe I heard recently it was in fact canceled. But that said, I think that's it. We're right there at it, and like I said, I always want to try to not be here for the full, even though technically it's still kind of 3 hours. I don't want to be here for the full 3 hours. Carter, do you have anything you want to say before we head out?
No, I'm gonna go play Diablo 4 now.
I think I am too. You know what? That said, thank you so much, everyone. The chatters, the super chatters, the lurkers, the people who liked, people who didn't like it, people who shared the video, and even those who forgot to do so. Thank all of you, the patrons, the channel members, the people in the Discord, the people not in the Discord, every single one of you, Earth's mightiest subscribers, listeners, everybody. Thank you guys so much for your support of this channel, everything that you do. Thank you for welcoming myself back, as well as the show back, since we were off last week. Thank you all for that. And all I will say is that for Carter, I'm the Blerd without fear. In the DCEU, you can go to hell.
Bye!